Shall we play a game?
All right, let's make sure this is working. Yes, okay, there it is. Hi, everybody. Welcome in. Welcome in. It's good to be here. It's good to be down in the studio. I've been looking forward to this all day, if I'm brutally honest. Give me a second, I can take my slippers off. There we go. I don't need those right now. What I do need to do is that. We are back in Studio C, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. Welcome back. I'm not gonna lie, this is kind of a cheap excuse for me to spend some time in here and work with cameras and setups and everything else, right? The cameras were already set up because I'd recorded a video last week doing some stuff on Unlimited, and it was like, well, let's just keep it going. Let's just keep it going, right? So that's the plan for tonight. That's the plan for tonight. If you are familiar with collectible card games, trading card games, you know that one of the first things you have to do is you have to build a collection, right? You got to have a collection of cards before you can build decks. Now, at the moment, I have a fairly small little collection going here from the pre-releases that I went to a couple weekends ago, and last night I went and played Draft for the first time. I had a blast. This game drafts very, very well. But if I'm going to build Constructed, I'm going to need a lot more cards. I'm going to need a card base to work from. And so then tonight, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be doing this. I have 4 boxes of Spark of Rebellion, the initial set here of Star Wars Unlimited, to chew through and see what we get. I suppose I should have gotten something relatively sharp to puncture this plastic. This pen will probably do. There we go. So, my suspicion, based on... what's up, Cannon? Based on kind of how much I'm enjoying the game so far, is that, you know, obviously you're going to be seeing some board game content down here in the studio, obviously. But don't be shocked if you see some collectible card game, some trading card game content down here too. Several of the folks that I spoke to last night at the draft were really keen to see more about what I had going on here in the studio, the setup and everything. And we started talking about playing multiplayer on this table. This particular game launches with obviously the standard 2-player mode, but also a designed 4-player mode, 4-player free-for-all mode that, again, 1, 2, 3, 4, I could put 4 people around this table. If I can get, you know, cameras and microphones, everything turned on, we could probably stream that. And this table looks like it would support it. I need to probably lay out some play mats and maybe make some measurements and double check a couple of things. Probably the struggle I'm going to have is with the overhead camera. By the time I back the overhead camera off far enough, you won't be able to necessarily read individual cards. So that'll be a bit more of a challenge, but we'll figure that out. We'll figure that out as we go. What's up, Xanda? What's up, Necro? So guys, this is going to be super chill and super laid back. All we're doing tonight is we are opening packs. That's it. I might do a little bit of deck building later. I've got some boxes to knock together, right? I can work on this while we sit here and chat. Basically, after I'm done pulling everything, I realize I just left my little binder for spare rares upstairs, but I'll figure all that out. I've got piles over here. I'm going to sort everything by color. There are, of course, 4 primary colors. You have green, red, blue, and yellow. And then you have the 2 additional colors. You have white and a black for heroism and villainy. This is absolutely a non-scheduled stream. Necro, I'll tell you straight up, that would be an amazing goal. Here's the struggle. A, having enough cameras to do that, which is not as simple as it sounds, because you can't do that with webcams, okay? I'm already at 4 cinematic cameras in this room. 2 4K, 2 1080. And then the additional problem comes in, I have to feed those cameras into my machine back here. Now, at the moment, I'm running one of the Elgato HDMI capture card things. It has 4 HDMI plugs on it. So, right now, I have planned for 3 cameras up around the table and 1 overhead. No, Electric. I direct the whole stream from right here. The same way I can sit here and do this or that, right? So that's just kind of a taste of I have to play and direct the whole thing. The good news is that in most multiplayer games, you're not always the one acting, right? You have plenty of time to think about where the camera needs to be and all that sort of thing. So I'm going to have to get used to it sometime, setting all that up in advance and then directing the stream while on camera. Ginger around. Ginger's upstairs. I offered her a chance to come down. She may yet pop in. We'll see. She is also a Star Wars fan, of course, clearly. So she may yet make an appearance. But for now, let's get started. Let's open some theoretically good cards, as I like to say. Now, what I've done for the moment is I've got a pile. Basically, I've got 3 different piles out here of, I've just sorted what I already own. I've got a pile of just rares and legendaries. Most of this is yellow, just because that's what I've ended up drawing in the packs that I've got. I've got a pack of foils. Every single pack that we open will have at least 1 foil card in it. The last card in every pack is a foil. And then these are what I value these much more than I value the foils. These are what they call hyperspace cards. These are borderless, right? So here, I'll show you side by side the difference, right? So you have Same piece of art, same card text, same game effect, right? But one with a black border and one with no border. And I think the borderless cards look amazing. The trick is that the borderless cards come sort of, you don't really, like, they just kind of come randomly, right? Sometimes they replace, you know, if you get like a hyperspace common, it'll replace the common in a pack, and sometimes you'll just get, you don't know what you're going to get, right? But yeah. So when you open a pack of Unlimited, the first thing you get on top is a leader. We're already things looking up. I've got a hyperspace leader right here off the bat. I had a few of those lurking at the back. I don't think IG was one. Nope. I've got a Grand Inquisitor, a Krennic, a Jin, a Chewbacca, and now an IG. So that's nice. Nice to see that. Good start to things. Then you should get, I think you'll always get a base. You always this is the, for lack of a better way to put it, this is like if you've ever played Magic, this is like the one land card you get in every pack. But the nice thing is they're double-sided. The backside of these serve as tokens for some of the gameplay that you'll be doing. And then I'm just going to stack that out of the way because most of the bases nobody really cares. Then you get, let's see, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 commons. That's exactly right, Striker. You always have, every pack has a leader and a base. And every deck that you ever build has to start with a leader and a base, period. So you get one of those in every pack no matter what you do. You get 9 commons. Then you get a bunch of uncommons. Then you get a rare. In this case, a Jedi lightsaber. It's a nice one. Nice upgrade. And then I've got a common foil here, a Lothal Insurgent. So sometimes the foils are really good. Sometimes the foils are, they're not so amazing. It kind of depends. There's just no way to predict it, really. What I'm going to do as I go here is I'm just going to kind of sort. I'm going to sort stuff by color because that's how I'm going to end up storing my cards is by color down the road. That'll make it easier for me to find stuff later on. I have a giant box over here on the floor, so to catch all this trash. Yeah, Striker. I mean, in Magic, you would call it, basic land. It's kind of the same idea, right? There's a Jin, common leader. Nothing fancy there. Base, some commons, some good uncommons. There's me a Han. We like that, and another foil common. No hyperspace cards in that pack. Sad. Been through 2 now with none of those. That does happen, though. Sort these out. I really enjoyed playing Draft last night. This game drafts very, very well. It was interesting to be at a table also with nobody, with nobody else drafting Rebel. It meant I had a lot of good stuff come across my way. Adeldrell, maybe. I've talked to some AV people. I have a number of friends that work in professional audio-visual, right? And we have discussed the idea of doing, getting like an ATEM, Blackmagic ATEM stuff in here. It has a couple of problems with it. I won't say problems. It has a couple of quirks with it. There you go. I think the hyperspace locations look really good too, right? Like compare that to the regular, right? I love the look of the borderless cards, particularly in the locations. I think they look really, really awesome. I think they've done an excellent job with that. We've talked about putting an ATEM machine in here. Uncommon foil. Old wrinkly. Papa Palpatine. Go for Papa Palpatine. So there's me another hyperspace common. But the problem, so it had a couple of problems with the notion when I started looking into it. One was the cost, right? The barrier to getting into that was significantly higher than what I had already sort of been budgeting for. Also, it's more, in my experience, it's more finicky and more challenging to learn. I'm trying to figure out how to explain this. When I first started going to Wargaming to do casts in their studio for tournaments and stuff, right? Their setup, their World of Tanks setup included a crazy ATEM machine, right? And it was a real hassle for them to kind of. It was watching them fight that thing to figure out how to use it was not encouraging. Consortium Star Viper. The ships look nice in foils. I like that. That's nice. Emperor's Legion. Like that too. That looks good. There's me another. Okay, get rid of you. Just look for anything in here that looks particularly interesting. Okay, good to see. I'll sort. I probably should just get to where I'm sorting through the rest of this stuff later. I had no choice. And a foil entrenched. Foil uncommon. No hyperspace cards. Very sad. One of the things that I'm hoping, I suppose, for lack of a better way to put it, is that there's, you know, the collector's market for this eventually does take off. There are some cards that I absolutely probably will make the time to go after in hyperspace versions, but there are some that I'm just like, I don't care. I'm happy to sell those or trade those to somebody who will value them more highly than I will, right? There we go. There's me a legendary Mace Windu. Nice to see. So there are 4 rarity levels in the game, right? You have common, uncommon, and rare, which is very typical, and then you have legendary. This is something that I first saw Fantasy Flight doing back in Destiny. They had legendary cards in every set. And legendaries, I think in that game, were guaranteed at a rate of 3 a box. And here, the average, they're not guaranteed at all. The average for most people so far seems to have been about 4 in a box, you know, alternate art versions notwithstanding. Did I see Total War Rome, the board game? I did not. I am not familiar. I've never played Total War Rome, so the board game version would probably not be something that I went, oh, look at that. It wouldn't register on my radar. So that's nice. I pulled one of these last night. So what you've got here in this pack, we'll show you. Standard, leader, base, 9 commons. When you get to the uncommon slots, the last uncommon slot has a legendary in it. It has a hyperspace legendary in it. This is a Vigilance. So that is an amazing card. I pulled one of those last night in my draft. And I did not play blue last night. Not remotely, but I took that particular card and kept it because I was like, ooh, pricey board game. Pricey board games have become the norm these days, Andrew. And I've got a foil rare here. This is Bendu. If you've ever watched Rebels, you might remember Bendu had a couple episodes there in the middle seasons. No Good to Me Dead. I love the art on this card. Look at this. Look at this. Han and Carbonite. He's no good to me dead. Nice. I like that one. I'd actually seen one of those before. Very cool. That was a good pack, right? You had a foil rare, a decent regular rare, and a hyperspace legendary all in the same pack. So Electric, probably not yet, Andrew. The game is too new. We'll see how that goes. There are, that's pretty. Oh man, that is pretty. Look at that. Look at the hyperspace version of that. Let me show you the base card. Let's see, I think I pulled one earlier. I know I've got one in here. I just got to go dig it up. Hold on. There you go. I mean, look at, it's hard to see on the dark mat, but like the borderless version looks so awesome. Just, it's almost like comic book art versus like art, right? It's just, it looks so amazing. So to answer your question, Andrew, the answer is right now, I'd say probably not, just because the game is too new. Everybody's still sort of figuring out what's going to happen and how it's going to go. There is one kind of ultra rarity level. Galactic Ambition. It's nice. Ooh, a foil hyperspace. Common, but that is still beautiful. Look at that for a ship. Look at that little headhunter. God, that looks awesome. I love the art. They've done such a good job with the art in this set. Yeah, exactly, Bulldozer. Exactly. So there is one, of course, we talked about, so every card in the base set for this particular game has technically 4 versions, right? You have regular, foil, hyperspace, which is the borderless, and then you have hyperspace foil, so foil version of the borderless card. That's like increasing difficulty fine, like low to high. There is one more that is kind of out there, and that is the leader cards. If you remember, the very first pack I pulled had this IG-88 in it, right? So the leader cards have there's 18 leaders in the set. Each of them has a specific, unique version of the card called a showcase version. It's foiled on both sides, and it's completely different art. The card layout is completely different. It's the same info, but it's laid out differently, okay? And those right now, those are like 1 in every 2 cases, right? So getting one of those is kind of like right now the crazy, like the crazy rare, right? Trick is that right now nobody has a good feel for what those actually cost, in the sense of the game is still new, still very new. Demand is kind of and they're not necessary. They really are for collectors. I've seen them listed as high as 400 each, like for an individual card. I've seen them 150 to 250. Like it all kind of depends. There does not seem to be a consistent price point right now, and some of that is the game is still too new, and some of that is just demand in general for them is everybody's looking to sell. It feels like. My personal belief, this is not based on evidence. This is just what I think is going to happen. I think they're going to start high. I think the collector's market for this is not really there right now. I think they're going to fall a bit, and then I think come summer when the second set comes out and the collectors start to get in, the game remains big and all that they will the price will go back up, and I think that's going to be probably the time to pick them. There we go, rare leader, my first Chirrut. He's one of the rebel leaders you can get in this set. I watched somebody play him last night in draft. Looking forward to trying him myself. He looks kind of fun. Chirrut Imwe. I'll put him out here. There we go. Get rid of this. Let's see what's our. Okay, another hyperspace card there. Agent Callus. We like him. Solid. Foil common. And then what have we got here? A foil no good to me dead. Now that looks really good. Man, look at, we just literally, I'd never seen one of these until a little while ago. And now, let me find it. Hold on. I'll go dig it back up. Put them side by side. Look at this. Look at that. Like that is just, oh God, I love the look of the hyperspace stuff. The borderless cards are just gorgeous. I'll sort all the commons and stuff here in a little bit, and then we'll go on to the next box. The other thing about these packs, I'm used to opening foil packs, right, of cards. These are paper. The wrapping is paper. There we go. There's a showcase. I mean, not a showcase. A hyperspace Jin. Hyperspace Jin Urso. I think I already had one of her. Yep, had one of her from a previous event. That's the only hyperspace in this pack. What do we got? Another don't get. Oh, that's okay. I've got yet another don't get cocky. I've had several of these from other decks, from other events. I've pulled several of those along the way. Okay, now Andrew, you'll have to help me out here. I don't know anything about Pokemon cards other than that they're a thing, right? I know they exist. I have never bought, played. What I know about Pokemon wouldn't fill a thimble. Is that like an old card, like from one of the original print runs of the game way back in the day? Back in the late 90s when the game was new? Or is that a newer card that it's surprising that it's that much, or what? Hyperspace Greedo. Spark of Rebellion. That is a really, really strong yellow rebel card. Foil Bosk. Bosk is an amazing card. One of the things that I really have come to appreciate about this game, having played two sealed events in a draft, is how strong some of the commons and uncommons are. You know how, if you've ever played TCGs, collectible games, it always felt like you got so much trash in the common slots, right? Like, so many common cards were just thoroughly like, eh. You weren't really excited to get them, right? This game, there's me another Cassian, like that. Foil Hyperspace Force Throw. It's kind of pretty. This game, one of the things that I love about it is that, oh, there we go, another legendary. That's my second Cunning. I picked one up in one of my pre-releases. They've done a really good job of designing the kind of the power level of the various cards to the point where, oh no, pull Cassian out, you dummy. There's a lot of really good commons, right? Like, when you go to draft a game, when you go to open a pack in a draft, you don't necessarily just run straight for the rare, right? You look around and go, oh, okay, you know? And there's some amazing cards. The relative power level of the card is not necessarily directly coupled to its rarity level. Foil Green Squadron A-Wing, Jeddah City. A rare base. Each of the colors has a rare base, so sometimes you'll pull those. And then yeah, okay. The true Holy Grail. I don't know what PSA 10 means, but it sounds like there are not many copies in existence, and therefore it is nutty in terms of what it costs. Looks like we got another hyperspace location here. There we go, Administrator's Tower. Really do like the hyperspace locations. When I used to play many moons ago, Rook, he's excellent. And then a foil hyperspace battlefield marine. This is an amazing card, and I love the look of that. That's pretty. I might have to look around for some more of those. Years ago, when I played the old Lord of the Rings TCG from Decipher, one of the things that I did when I built decks was I went out of my way to get foil versions of the sites. You don't know what it is. It's a trading card game, Electric. It's a trading card game. In Lord of the Rings, you built a fellowship, and then you had to walk them down the path, right? Nine locations, and numbered 1 to 9, and each one was represented an actual location that the party had visited or could have theoretically visited, right? And they were usually screen caps from the movies, right? So you had locations like Hobbiton and the Prancing Pony and Rivendell and all this sort of thing. And in that game, they printed foils. So you had, regular cards, and then you had the foil version of the same card. They didn't have all this alternate art stuff like here. This is kind of a new thing for me. Man, another borderless location there, Dagobah Swamp, another hyperspace. Ooh, yeah, Fet's Fire Spray. That is an amazing card. I gotta get me some unit Fets. I have some leader Fets already. And the only foils in that game when I kind of played it and tried to collect it was I wanted the foil locations. And they were almost all of them uncommons and uncommons. So they weren't hard to get. But it took a little time, right? You were looking for specific ones. And then the other one was, there was a card in every set that represented the One Ring. And I always wanted the foil of that because the foils of those cards were really, really pretty. Professional sports authenticators. Right. So I have some old ancient stuff. Oh, yes. Emperor's Royal Guard. We like that. I need more of those because I plan to build a Palpatine deck. We have a foil hyperspace Jedi lightsaber. That's pretty. And then a regular hyperspace Bright Hope, which is an excellent rebel rebel ship, that transport ship that you see them coming out with, leaving Hoth with. Okay, that's a nice pack. So had what, two hyperspaces in there, 3 hyperspaces in there. That's nice. I have some actually I have exactly 1 comic book I've thought about sending it off to get it graded. Years ago, when the old Batman the Animated Series was still on the air. Oh, look at that, ladies and gentlemen. We have a showcase. We have a showcase. That is what a showcase is. So, this is a showcase leader. This is Sabine Wren. And I'll find one of the plain ones so you can see the comparison. There we go. Okay, so this is what Sabine. Okay, I'm going to slide things over. The camera is not being kind here. So this is what Sabine normally looks like when you get a common version. This is the showcase version, right? So you have completely different art on both sides. The card layout is different. It's foiled front and back, and these like I was saying, these are 1 every 2 cases. So 1 every 12 boxes, basically. So yeah, that's pretty. She is arguably one of the more popular leaders in the game right now. She's very, very strong because she does a ton of damage very quickly. And so that's nice. I need to get a sleeve for that before I get too far. Give me a sec. Give me a sec. I'm going to go grab a sleeve. Hang on a minute. Not that button. No. Yeah, there we go. That one. I was kind of hoping I'd pull one of these. And if I'm brutally honest, I don't know that I'll play Sabine. There's a part of me, one of the things that one of the things about me is that when it comes to TCGs, I very, very, very much despise playing what everybody else plays. I am a contrarian. That's just my nature. Yeah, man, that looks really good. That's a great looking card. They did good. They did good job with the art on these. And so right now, like I was saying, Sabine is arguably one of the most popular decks in the game, right? And so inherently then I am biased against her. Not because she's bad, quite the opposite, but because I'm like, I don't want to do what everybody else is doing. I am a contrarian that way. Another hyperspace common, a little repair there. Have a foil in the back. This is a Vigilant Honor Guards. Wow, guys, holy crap. Okay, look at this pack. This pack had a hyperspace leader and a legendary in it, a Vader. This one pack is probably worth $200 just on those 2 cards alone. Vader is right now the most sought after legendary in the game, and Sabine is, like I said, you could on the low end, if you could find someone to buy it, you could probably get 150 plus for it. What's up, Lemming? How many board games do I have? Andrew, we don't count these things. We do not ask these questions. And no, I do not like going along with the crowd. Wow, this has been a really good box. This has been a really good box so far, guys. I'm digging this, and I've still got I think there's 6 packs left. You say too many. I disagree with you. I don't believe there is such a thing as too many. I think the very idea is ludicrous. Now, I probably won't get another one of those. I don't know that it's, I don't know if these boxes came out of separate cases or what, but I highly suspect we won't be drawing more than one of those. Man, that's pretty. Another hyperspace. That's a common TIE Defender. It's a great looking card. Upside down rare, Wedge Antilles, another personal favorite of mine. I'm a big fan of Wedge. Let's put these over here. A little easier to see them. Foil Hyperspace Corellian Freighter, another common. Nice, nice, nice. 6 boxes in a case. 6 boxes in a case. So that's the thing about Sabine, right? Is that she's, in theory, I should not have another one of these in these last boxes, right? I shouldn't. All right, here's another leader I didn't have. There's a Hera Syndulla. She's another rebel leader, obviously. Didn't have one of those. That's good to see. Ginger will be glad to see that. That's probably a deck that she'll want to play. She loves Hera. Foil uncommon, that's a devotion. And then a heroic sacrifice. And then a bunch of other stuff that I will sort through later. Yeah, so the odds are against me pulling another one of those, but man, it would be cool if I did. I have not heard of anybody... oh, this is the one I wanted. Here we go. Here we go. This is... Oh, yeah. This is good. This is good. So, in my second pre-release, I played Thrawn. And at the end of that event, there was a guy there who... he really wanted a Thrawn, and he didn't have one. And so he was like, okay, what do you want for that card? And I ended up trading him... I traded him for the leader version of Emperor Palpatine, which I still don't have. I'm glad I did because I haven't found another one yet. There's probably one in here somewhere. He's just a regular rare. But now I have replaced my Thrawn, which is nice. I wanted another one of him. I really liked playing him. His ability is so thematic and so fun on the table. They did such a great job designing that particular card. It's really, really solid. And a Traitorous, that's an irritating card. Somebody, last night, one of my buddies was telling me he lost his draft game basically exclusively because of someone had drafted a Traitorous and yoinked one of his units like at the wrong time. Okay, Electric, so that's a good question. You're asking about the basis. Here's how a TCG works, a trading card game, or what you'll sometimes hear them called a CCG, a collectible or a customizable card game. The way it works is fairly straightforward, right? The designers, the manufacturers of the game will design a set. Let's call it 250 cards. I think this set is like 252 cards, okay? So you design a set. You print it, you release it. And then you tell people what the rules are to play the game. You have your deck, you have to build a 50-card deck, and it's got to have these things in it if there's restrictions, and then you sit down and you play, and you are fighting an opponent for some win condition, okay? But what goes into that deck is completely up to you. Usually there are restrictions in terms of how many of each card you can put in a deck. In Magic, for example, you can't have more than 4 copies of any one card in I think it's a 60-card deck. For Star Wars Unlimited, the minimum deck size is 50. I believe 50 is, I think it's a minimum, not a maximum. There might be a maximum. Anyway, you build a 50-card deck, and the maximum number of any one card you can have is 3. 3 copies of anything. So if you own 3 of any card, you have all you could ever need to actually play the game with. But then you decide what goes into the deck. Okay, you sit down with your collection, and amongst those cards, you build a deck of whatever it is you want to play, and then you sit down and play your opponent. And because of the variability in, hey, there's 250 cards, and you're picking out the ones you want, and just going to town, then there's no, the variety is limitless, like just crazy. All right, Mercenary Company for the foil. I got a U-Wing replacement for the rare, and that's about all that was in this pack. So you can go a lot of different ways, right? There's a lot of different things that you can do. Nice. So this pack started off with 2 hyperspaces. I have a hyperspace leader Tarkin, which is pretty cool. And then another hyperspace base right away. 4th one of those in the box. Man, I've got a lot of hyperspace cards in this. And then there's another one buried back here. A hyperspace mining guild TIE fighter. Little guy. Regular rare there. Electro staff. Another foil Jedi lightsaber. Didn't I have one of those earlier? I think I had a foil. Yeah. So I had a foil. Hyperspace Jedi lightsaber. My first pack was a regular Jedi lightsaber, and now I've got a foil regular Jedi lightsaber. So 3 of those in the same box. So if you wanted to play Hero Blue, this was the box for you, ladies and gentlemen. Goodness gracious. I mean, Electric, it depends on what the objective of the game you're playing is. In a minute, I'm about to open my last pack for this box, and I'll talk you through what that means in Star Wars Unlimited. There's a plain Tarkin. And we end the box with a Relentless, a plain old rare Star Destroyer. and a foil bib Fortuna. Actually, this guy should probably go down here because he is a foil rare. I'm wondering if I got any other foil rares in here that I did not put down with. I'm just kind of just shoving the foil commons and uncommons over there. Yeah, there's the Bendu. I knew I'd gotten at least one. Yeah, okay, there we go. Cool. All right, put this, double check, got everything out. Yep. So there we go, guys. I'll pull this stuff out of the way just for clarity's sake. And there we go. This is move this stuff off camera so it's not cluttering things up. That is box number 1 right there. That looks pretty good, right? I got a whole big pile. I got 4 hyperspace bases, 1 of each color, a whole bunch of different hyperspace cards, including 1 hyperspace foil rare in here. We got a showcase, of course. We got our Sabine. We had a Vader. I had a Mace. I had a Vigilance and a Cunning. So I got 4 legendaries out of this box, along with some stuff that some leaders that I didn't have. Right, I didn't have the Thrawn. I didn't have the Hera. I needed the other Royal Guard because I do have a Palpatine that I'm still working on building a deck with. So yeah. Is there a Death Star or is it just characters? So I'll explain that in just a second, Andrew. Just a second. So yeah, this was a solid box. This was a solid box. Not bad. Not bad. All right, well. Let's pack that up and set it aside here. Finish pulling the foils out here. Okay, so regular rares. Just pulling foils. I keep the foils in a separate stack. I'm more likely to trade the foils just because I'm not a big foil guy. What I'm discovering, like I was saying, is I really love the hyperspace versions of cards. So I'm probably gonna be fairly aggressive trying to trade for the hyperspace versions of certain cards. But the foiling of cards has never interested me, even back when I played Star Wars and Lord of the Rings. So I probably will just not really care about any of that. Happy to get at least 1 showcase though. That's glorious. And she's a leader that I ought to be playing. I really should learn how to play that so that I know how to play against it, right? All right. Let's go to number 2, baby. Let's do it. You were a Yu-Gi-Oh player, Xanda. See, I've been playing. I'm trying to think how many different collectible games have I played. I played. Let me think about this for a minute. So I started off playing. The very first one I ever got into was the old. I have 4 boxes out, Aldrell. This is number 2. I played the original Star Trek CCG by Decipher. That was '94, and then I learned Magic not long after that. Played a little Magic in high school when it was still new. We were buying revised, right? That's how long. If you know anything about Magic, that was a long time ago. Like 20, 25 years, 30 years? 30 years. Yeah, 30 years ago. And then I bought into Star Wars. I played that fairly religiously for a long time. The old Decipher Star Wars CCG. The Babylon 5 CCG that came out in about 97 or 98. I bought into that in college. Read it with a raid. Look at that. I have notifications turned off because we're just chilling tonight. We're super low key tonight. How you doing, Rita? Look at you. What were you up to? Yeah, you should remember this room, Rita. I've done a little bit of cleaning here and a small amount of reorg, but it's basically the same. It's basically the same. Yeah, I've done a little bit. So I changed the art on the wall. And then, if you remember, Rita, I had cable channels, right? The big rubber cable channels to remove cables all over the room. And I had like Velcro on the bottom of them, but the Velcro was like peel and stick. And then the glue would like slide. And so then the glue got like rubbed into the carpet fibers and it was just a mess. So I think it's 2 weekends ago, I emptied the whole room and shampooed the carpet to get the glue out, which worked. It still smells faintly of like shampoo in here, which is actually quite lovely. And then I moved everything back in. I also had to repair one of the LED strips. This LED strip over here had died. Yeah, you saw some of the Twitter posts I made. And so I had to, so I yanked everything out, ripped off all the OLED LEDs, replaced all the LEDs, and that reminds me, I should have turned those on before I started streaming. Come on, you. There we go. There we go. Looks a little better now. And got all that done, and then I had to move everything back in. So yeah. So again, the plan is to do a lot more work in here. I've invested too much time and energy to not. But tonight it was an excuse to kind of just sit in here and drink bourbon and be pretty low key. Thank you for the shout out. Thank you. I should have asked for that already. While feeding my long-standing card gaming addiction that I've had for a very, very long time. So let's see, where was I? So I was talking about playing Babylon 5. By the way, I still own all my Babylon 5 cards. You will see Babylon 5 on this table on this channel at some point. You will 100% see it. The day's coming, kids. It's 100% coming. I'm going to do it because I still believe even today that game remains one of the best. I'm going to come back to that in a minute. Let me sort cards while I talk for a minute because this won't take long. When not long after the Star Wars game died, the original one that Decipher had, because Lucasfilm took the license away and gave it to Hasbro, was about when the Lord of the Rings... You're fine, Xanda. Was about the time that Lord of the Rings came out. And so I played that all the way through probably the film era, right? Once Return of the King came out, there were a few more sets. They kept printing the game, but interest in it had sort of waned. It had sort of kind of run its course, which was a shame. It was a really, really well-designed game. It kind of went off the rails. The first 2 or 3, like all the way up to Return of the King, it was like, oh yeah, this is pretty solid. But then as the game kind of got older and the movies ran out and they kind of had to start reaching into some other places to find things, it kind of went in some really odd places, like from a design perspective. And I sort of, by then I had quit playing, but I remember kind of looking over people's shoulders going, what the hell are they doing with this game? It was weird. So Liquid, I disagree with you. Personal choice. The old Decipher game, the cards were gorgeous. I loved the gameplay in that game, but admittedly, that was a very, very... That game was not for everybody, right? So I 100% understand why you might have felt that way, right? That was a very heavy, overburdened with rules game. It really was. I was talking about that when I did a video on kind of Star Wars Unlimited here, on my channel about 8 or 9 days ago. I talked about that, right? Like I said, look, I'm putting cards, I'm suddenly colorblind. I said, I love that game, but it was absolutely a game that was not for the faint of heart. Like, you had to want to learn it, and there was a huge mountain of rules and mechanics to climb up and learn along the way. It was a real hassle. So I feel your pain. I feel your pain. So, Katie, look at that. You're close by, my friend. You're close by. Just down the road. I work very near Katie, about 3 exits in from you. Barker and 10 is where my office is. No. Oh, Rita, that's amazing. That's amazing. I'll tell you another story about my old G.I. Joe stuff in a minute. You're going to love it. In fact, it actually kind of ties into CCGs. You're going to, hilariously, I hadn't thought about the story in years, but now you've triggered another memory. That's the first pack. Let's come back to that in a minute. I'll finish sorting this mess and get it off the table. This is all okay. So this is already the yeah. See, Liquid. Hilariously, I played that game, and then when Decipher lost the license to Star Wars, they turned everything over to a players committee. By the way, the SWCCG players committee still exists today. That's how dedicated the fan base is for that game, and they have continued to write new text for cards. Continued to publish what they call virtual sets for more than 20 years. Remains a very dedicated, very strong fan base for that game. And it's still a good game. in my opinion. So let's see, what else? After Lord of the Rings, what came after Lord of the Rings? Did I play anything after that? I bought into... Nice. Oh, ugh, I-10, ugh. I bought into a game made by a little tiny company called Tri-King Games in northern Georgia. It was called Anachronism. Now, Anachronism was not collectible. But what Anachronism was what we would now call, if you're familiar with board games and the gaming space in general, Anachronism was what we would probably now refer to as an LCG, which is something that Fantasy Flight, who makes this game, does very well. An LCG, they call it a living card game, is a game where they publish regular card updates, but there are no rarity levels. The game itself is not collectible. And so about once every 4 to 6 weeks, they publish a new pack of 30 cards or whatever. You walk out, you buy that pack, and you have everything you need to continue playing the game and be current. They've made those cards. Again, Fantasy Flight made LCGs for Star Wars, Lord of the Rings. They bought the Legend of the Five Rings license. They made one for Game of Thrones, which was really good. I really enjoyed the Game of Thrones game, actually. It's a shame I couldn't find more people to play that one with. And so on and so forth. But Anachronism was very similar. You bought fixed packs that, just had the same cards in them. And you just built decks. And it was a ton of fun. There was a lot more positioning and strategy, like tactics in that particular game. That game was less about the deck building, there was still some deck building in it, but it was more about actually positioning yourself on this little arena mat, this little mat you played on. Good evening, Osprey. After Anachronism, I gave it up. I got into World of Warcraft and pretty much did not play. I didn't play CCGs again, probably until Destiny. About, like I said in my video, about what, 5 or 6 years ago, Fantasy Flight put out Star Wars Destiny, and that got me back into the collectible card game market that I had voluntarily walked away from for many, many, many years. And when that died, I was like, well, I learned my lesson. I'm not doing that again. And then here I am again, falling for it one more time, because there's just something about these games, the act of deck building, the creation, the taking your own abomination or genius concoction out and playing it, having fun, the communities you build. I love it. Now so Tank, yes, absolutely. I did play X-Wing. I came into X-Wing right around the end of Wave 4. So the Phantom was running rampant all over the game when I started playing X-Wing. And to this day, I still hate the TIE Phantom. In 2015 was probably my big X-Wing year. I had a bunch of, because I'd just come off a project where I traveled a bunch. I had a ton of airline miles laying around. So I did a bunch of travel. I went to a bunch of regionals in X-Wing that year. I played in Kansas City. I played in Raleigh. I played in Tulsa. And I played in Dallas for regional competition leading up to the X-Wing World Championships, which I did go to that year. That particular year, I played Double Aggressor. I played a Double Aggressor list the whole year. Sorry if you had to listen to that in the mic. I was thirsty. I've been talking too much. Okay, box number 2. So I'd already peeled this one, but I had to clean some of the other mess out of the way before we could keep going. Okay, so credit, nothing fancy. We do have another pretty hyperspace base here. I guess I should get back to the right view. There we go. Foil, another hyperspace. What do we got here? A Distant Patroller. Uncommon ship. Don't get cocky for a rare. And a whole bunch of other stuff that I'll sort through later. Good. Excellent, Rita. That's good. I feel like I missed a couple of questions. Did I ever check out the old Battletech CCG? So Ronan, I did not. The Battletech CCG was actually Wizards of the Coast. And believe it or not, there is still a very thriving community for that game. It's a game that I probably should have tried and never did. Even today, I still see people, like there's somebody on Twitter or I think it's Twitter, that he'll take the artwork off of old BattleTech CCG cards and find the mech and then paint the mech miniature to match the art on the card. Right down to modifying the base if he's got to like paint the base to put craters on it or something. He does a really good job. And he's done some absolutely just beautiful work. I love watching his stuff. So we got a Gamorrean Guard and a Bombing Run. Nothing too fancy in this pack. Just nice and solid. There's Kanan. I haven't seen one of him go by. Glad to see him. He is a really solid kind of mid-costed unit. Probably the cheapest, one of the cheapest force users you can get in the game right now. Very, very cool. Big fan. Big fan, kids. Tank, type exclamation mark drink. Muldoon will take care of you. Oh, there you go. Xander took care of it. Okay, so it's not Muldoon because I haven't set it up down here, but whatever. Yeah, there you go. I'm a Garrison Brothers fanboy. The bottle's actually here. The bottle's actually right here. There she is. Ladybird with the pretty purple wax. So there you go. Hetzer, I feel your pain. The LCG business model is very different from this, right? Very different from this. But I will say one of the things that I'm enjoying about this game so far is that I don't feel like I went to 2 sealed events and a draft and ended up with probably another 6 to 8 packs beyond that in various prize support. So by the time I was done, I had opened probably the equivalent of about a box, just randomly from different places. It was pretty good. It was like I was able to build, I could have built a decent constructed deck. It wouldn't have been amazing, but it would have been solid. And I'll say this, if you're interested, look around for draft and sealed. Don't dive head in, don't be me. Don't dive head first in until you've played the game a little bit. Try it out mechanically. Find a local community. See if they're worth hanging out with, right? Because all of those things matter, in my opinion. And if the answer to those questions is yes, well then, you do you. But in my opinion, sealed and draft for this game is so good. So good. And yes, Ladybird is probably my favorite Garrison. It's a tough call. Last year's Cowboy, the 2023 Cowboy, was really good. Hard to go wrong. I should have put that back since we're opening a box. So there's me at 1 hyperspace in this set, and then yet there's another cunning. So I now have a full play set of cunnings. I have 3 of these on the legendary side. So I should probably be looking at somebody's pure yellow deck. I don't even know if that's a thing. Perhaps I will know later on. But 1 legendary in this box. Ooh, a couple of subs over on YouTube. Welcome in, guys. Appreciate you. Thank you kindly. Nothing fancy. Regular saw. It's good. I already had one of him. I wanted another. Double Rebel Red is actually something I'm really curious about. But I want to try, again, like we were talking about earlier, I'm a contrarian. I don't want to play what everybody else is playing. I don't want to play Sabine. I want to play Cassian. I want to play Double Red Rebel Cassian. Just to see if I can make it work. And it's probably crap, and I sort of don't care. I just want to try it and find out. I'm 100% the kind of person who will build a deck just to find out and play it myself. Like, people will have built it, they'll played it, and they'll look at me and say, Raptor, that deck is garbage. You don't want to try it. And I'll be like, that's wonderful. I hear everything you're saying. I'm gonna decide for myself. So this is a solid pack. There's 2 rares in this one, right? So common Fett, yada, 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 yada. But in my last uncommon slot is a Hyperspace K2SO, which is beautiful. That's a beautiful looking card. I love the moment they chose for his artwork with him catching the grenade, right? This is the art they chose. They told the artist, you remember that moment in Rogue One where K2 catches the grenade? That's what we want you to paint. And that's what they did. And it's, I love that moment. And then, so that took the place of one of the uncommons in the pack. And then I've got just a regular rare Fat Man. Jabba the Hutt. Actually, we'll leave him out here since he's rare. And another foil common. And a whole bunch of other stuff that I'll sort through later. Nice, Richard. Nice. Let us know what you get. I don't know if you were here a little earlier. I did manage to pull a showcase. I picked up a Sabine randomly, so that's kind of nice. She is purdy. It's not the leader I would have chosen. If I could have told the TCG gods what showcase I wanted, it would have been Thrawn. But I mean, you know, maybe I can find someone who'll trade me. So Fret's Fire Spray is our rare in this particular pack, which is a good one. That gives me a play set now. I have 3 of those now. So now I desperately want to be playing Boba Fett, I think. I should be looking into villain yellow, it seems. And then a Cantina Braggart for a foil there. Oh yeah, pull the base out. Boop. Peter, if you buy them off the shelf, like from you know, your local game store, or whatever, their retail should be $4.99 US dollars, right? I don't know what that translates to in euro or pounds or whatever, but $5 US is pretty standard for a pack off the box. Excellent. There's my play set of Royal Guards. This is awesome. So I have 3 of these now, which is amazing. That's what I've been looking for. I wanted that because that's another deck I want to build. I want to build that Palpatine as a leader deck. That one is, I think, I won't say slept on. I think folks have looked at it and decided it's too slow. I just realized this was a hyperspace Tarkin, and I looked right at it and didn't realize it. Keep looking to see if I missed another one now. I don't think, again, I like Palpatine because I'm a nerd. In fact, if you look on the wall of the studio behind me, Papa Palpatine, right? My wife bought me this figure. Kid you not.
It's because she knows you're imperial.
It's because my wife knows I'm a nerd, right? This is like one of the old school, you know, 1984 whatever action figures from Kenner, right? With his little walking stick. So yeah, he's kind of heavy, but yeah, old wrinkly. And then
Your wife knows that you're imperial scum.
yeah, that's exactly right. Look, he's even got an imperial banner. I bought this at Disney. I bought the imperial banner to go with him at Disney. And what I love about this is it's perfect size to look like it would be sitting next to him in the throne room, like scaled properly and everything. Love that. Love that.
I'm gonna crash your party.
Oh, come on in. I pulled one of those fancy showcase cards we were talking about.
Did you? Oh, Sabine.
Yep.
Nice.
Yep. There you go. You want a mic?
Sure.
Okay. Give me a sec.
Hi guys.
Ginger is here, ladies and gentlemen.
The only way you will ever catch me wearing Longhorn orange.
That's true. That's true.
I actually will prefer. We'll call this Guadalupe.
Guadalupe orange? Guadalupe orange. There you go.
Or Guadalupe, depending on how you pronounce it.
Indeed. Rita says hello. She rated me a little while ago.
Oh, hey Rita.
She comes on, she goes, hey, I remember that room. It's like, yeah, I'll bet you do.
We miss you.
Indeed. Indeed we do. Rita, I thought about you just the other day. Somebody on Twitter was talking about Distilled. They had done a review of Distilled, one of these board gaming websites I have followed on Twitter. And I immediately thought, oh yeah, I remember playing that game with Rita and Happa. That was tons of fun. And so
I blend into the wall.
you do blend into the wall. You got to be a little careful.
Yeah.
You got to be a little careful there.
Yeah. Although this is more of a sunset orange.
Oh.
Than this is.
Wrong camera view. All right, so let's have a look at that. What do we got in here? Another legendary, a second Devastator. Probably don't need more than one of those, really. That's the second foil hyperspace Battlefield Marine I've picked up. Well, this is arguably one of the better cards in Rebel, in Hero Green for his cost and everything, and he is pretty. I might actually keep those. For a guy who doesn't play foils, now that I have 2 of those, I might keep those. Okay, so Phoenix, I have to ask, when you say the old Star Wars TCG, are we talking about
Decipher?
the Decipher game, the WotC game? Which one? I'll tell you straight up, I never played the Wizards game. The one that had all the dice, all the D6 in it. I never actually played that game. I think I took a demo at Origins one year, like 2002, 2003. I think I demoed it and was like, nah, this isn't for me. So I'm not sure I can give you a good answer on that one. Another hyperspace there. Got a hyperspace command center. That's the Death. I like this. This is like Death Star looking. I want the foil hyperspace of that card. That would look awesome. That would look really good. Ladybird, you want to sit?
Yeah.
Here. Help yourself. Late 90s card game had Planet Ships and Gear. Okay, so Phoenix, you're probably talking about the old Decipher game, and I did play that one. This one, Foil Academy Training. What's my rare? Traitorous, another one of those.
Okay, there we go.
The only similarities that this game is going to have to that one is the notion that you have different arenas of combat. Okay, you have both space and ground combat in this game. Yes, you can hear. You got all turned on and everything.
Yes, I'm all turned on.
Perfect.
Pardon me while I have some.
The game itself is less complicated, way less complicated mechanically than the Decipher game. Bold Chimera, very nice, Richard. It's significantly mechanically less complicated than Decipher. In this, you have basically the way this game works is you have a base, like so.
I see, Xanda.
Okay, you have a base, and you have a base and a leader. Let me find a leader here. Who we got later on? Here we go, Sabine. Okay, so you start with this in play. These two cards in play, just like this. And over the course of the game, you're going to deploy units in space on the ground. You're going to fight your opponent, and you're trying to destroy your opponent's base. It has 30 health, this big number here in the top left. Most bases have 30 health. There are a couple of bases in the game that have 25 health. Most of them have 30. And you're going to do that by deploying units and attacking with this number here, this red number on the left. Some units are ground, up here in the top. This dark text on a white background is a ground unit, and I'll show you Devastator. This white text on a black background is a space unit, and it literally says space or ground. And so you are attacking, you're trying to either attack the opponent's base or the opponent's units. And of course, if you're knocking his units out, then he's not able to fight you as effectively because you're destroying his resources on the board. That would be the old Decipher equivalent of, hey, I moved into a system or a location, I battled you so you couldn't force train me there anymore. Same idea, right? Go ahead.
I apologize for the tabletop. We should have lint rolled it.
What? No, this is all because I've been opening paper packs.
Okay.
This was clean when I started.
Okay.
This was clean when I started.
Okay.
But when you open, these are paper, not foil.
So it's got.
So it leaves little bits of stuff behind.
okay.
Yeah, that's just the way it is. Yeah. By the way, if you need a refill.
No.
Okay. I'm just saying.
I'm just stealing.
Oh, I need this one. I keep hitting the wrong camera view. So mechanically, this game is significantly more simple. Man, that's pretty. Another hyperspace. That's a fleet lieutenant. Foil hyperspace, Lieutenant Shildson. He's just a regular old uncommon. There, see, so there's a rare base, right? Rare base has 25 health, but he has an ability.
I was going to say it has to have something to
it has some game text. Once per game, you get to do something fun with it.
Okay.
And then the regular bases are just 30 health and they're just blank, right? No light side, dark side decks. 100% no, Phoenix. They've tried to make this game as easy to just sit down and play as possible. So there is no light, dark. You just build a deck. Your deck can be whatever you want. There are 6 what they call aspects. Ooh, that's a hyperspace Leia. That's pretty. I like that.
Ooh.
Yeah, she looks good, huh? I like that one.
Shiny.
What else we got in here? Okay, so I have a foil legendary. This is a home 1.
Welcome to my world, Electric.
Nice to see that. Yeah, I didn't do. Very nice, Richard. Oh wait, so Richard, you got to showcase Cassian? Is that what you're saying?
Ooh.
Because that's one I would.
That's pretty
sexy.
sexy.
That's one I would love to get.
Yeah. Hi, Lemming.
I can also turn you up a little bit if we need to.
Well, but it is kind of one of the. So when we play Pathfinder around this very table, it's not uncommon.
Nice, Richard. Congrats. Go ahead.
For me to get drowned out.
Sorry, guy YouTube.
I'm seeing.
Oh, I love that. I'm so jealous. Of all the ones that I could have pulled, Sabine is like, yeah. Okay, there's another Thrawn though. Some good trade bait. I like Thrawn.
Oh, shiny.
Glad to see that.
Yeah.
What do we got in here?
Still got a little ways.
Another hyperspace. Hyperspace Echo Base Defender.
Not the same as EVO.
Another Relentless. I don't think I forget if I pulled one of those in the first box or not. Foil Zeb.
Yay! Carabast.
That's actually a card, by the way.
Nice.
Carabast is actually a card.
Buskets.
I'm gonna find one for you. I had one in the first box. It's an uncommon. I feel like it's an uncommon. I know I saw one. Either I saw one or I already had one. I must have.
Maybe you already had one.
I may have already had one, which means it's gonna be farther down the pile. Oh, there you go.
Friendly unit deals damage to an enemy unit equal to the amount of damage on the friendly unit plus 1. Ooh, okay.
Another hyperspace foil. Occupier Siege Tank. It's our regular card. Strafing Gunship. That's a great rare. Excellent rare card. I pulled one of these in my my very first pre-release that I played Jin in, and it was money because you play the Jin leader with this card. You can attack ground units and they can barely hit you back. It's so cool.
Babylon 5.
I knew the answer.
We've played several. Like, I played the old Decipher TCG. I tried Trek. How many cards total in the 4 boxes?
Okay, so there are 16 cards in a pack, 24 packs in a box, 4 boxes.
Okay.
It's like 400. I think it's about 400.
But I played both the Decipher Trek and the Decipher Star Wars. I did the Rifts game for a little bit, which was another what was the publishing company?
Precedence, same as B5.
Yeah, it was another. It was by
Precedence got Rifts to market about 3 months before they went out of business.
Although I will say, I really enjoyed the Lord of the Rings game too.
Lord of the Rings, we had such an amazing community in Northern Virginia.
Yeah.
We had such an amazing community of players up there. I loved the game was good, but what made the game was the community.
Yeah.
Was 100% the community.
Well, it's the same thing with Galaxies, right?
Yep.
One of the things that made that game for us.
Yes.
Nice.
I traded for one of these last night. I needed 3 because when I build Cassian, I'm gonna need 3 of those.
Need 3.
Oh yeah, that's a great card for Cassian.
Yeah. But it was the same as Galaxies, right? It was all about, the game was fun, but it was about the friends you made and the community that formed around it. So. Honestly, it's not unlike Warships. We've made so many good friends.
I concur. I agree. It's not unlike Warships. Oh, Hera. Another Hera.
She's my favorite.
When I opened one earlier, I told chat, I said, yep, Ginger's going to be excited because if she's going to play any deck, she's going to want me to build her a Spectre deck.
Yes.
And the way this card is designed, she's meant for you to build the Spectre deck around her.
Nice.
Like, that's the way they've designed Hera.
Yeah.
So it's very well done.
Hera, Ahsoka, Cassian, Jin. Those are my faves out of the sequel era.
Mm-hmm.
I'm one of these people that you can have the legends when you pry them out of my cold dead hands. So yeah.
So we had a hyperspace leader, and then we got a foil rare, and another legendary. And there's another hyperspace in here, another Cloud City Wingguard. So let's see, what are my legendaries out of this box so far? We got Avenger, Cunning, and Devastator. And Home 1, technically, even though it came in the foil slot. So we're at 4 legendaries so far out of this box.
Excuse me.
And we've probably about 6 or 8 packs left in here. We're getting down to the end of box number 2. So Xanda, at one point, I had bought like a starter deck and a handful of booster packs for the Warcraft TCG, but I never really played it. Homestead Militia. I don't think I've ever seen this card for a common. Okay, well there's a hyperspace version of it. What else we got in here? There's me another legendary, Black 1.
Isn't that Pose?
That is Pose X-Wing.
Yeah.
So one of the things they've done in this set, right, is you've got all these, this set is very heavily focused on Imperial versus Rebel.
Okay.
But there's a few cards in here that spoil where they're going what the things they'll do later.
Yeah.
So for example, this card has the resistance keyword. When you look at Mace Windu has a card. He says Republic, right?
Okay.
So you know that eventually they're going to do foil ATST. That's kind of pretty.
That's kind of pretty.
You know, eventually they're going to do. They're going to go other places with the keywords and all that sort of thing, which will be fun to try. No.
What'd you get? What'd you get? What'd you get?
I got another showcase.
Ooh.
Chewie.
Yay.
Showcase Chewbacca. 2 showcases in 2 boxes? What is this insanity? This is crazy.
Trey is gonna hate you.
Trey is gonna hate me. Trey is gonna hate my guts.
That's pretty.
That is gorgeous. 2 showcases in 2 boxes. Seriously.
What you need?
Xanda, I need to grab one of these sleeves. Hang on.
I'll get 'em.
You got it?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's easier
I
for
should
me to
have.
get out.
I didn't think I was gonna need them.
Hey, I'm gonna block the camera a second, guys. Hang
Yeah.
on.
She's gonna walk in front of the camera. It'll be easy. There you go. Oh, careful. Careful. Don't
Yeah.
stab yourself. 2 showcases in 2 boxes. They're gonna have my head. Wow. That's wild. I don't even know what the odds of that are, but it's not good. There you go. Hyperspaced Carabast.
I'm your good luck charm.
I guess so. Unfortunately, they're filthy rebels. Why can't I get a proper villain? Stupid rebel. Rebel scum.
Long live the Republic.
You rebel scum.
Watch it slip through your fingers.
The more you tighten your grip, Tarkin, the more SAR systems will slip through your fingers. I appreciate that, Xanda. I appreciate you being there for me, buddy. Okay, Richard's got his box done now. Force Lightning, Aggression, Super Laser Blast, and Change of Heart. Okay, you did all right. Change of Heart is one of those cards that I think is a little slept on right now. I think that has some long-term potential, depending on how things go. There's another K2. Yeah, another K2. He is another amazingly good card. Foil
He's a good,
Open
fun
Fire.
character.
One of the things that I adore is how thematic some of the cards in this game are, right? Like the Thrawn is the example that I will always use for this. But I mean, like K2 is also very thematic. The way he works, what he does, how he does it. It's just they've just done such an amazing job with the design. Another Hyperspace TIE Defender. Del Mico. Didn't have one of those. That's good. I want to build the Inferno Squad deck at some point, because Iden Versio is a leader, and then you also have Del Mico and you have Gideon Hask as cards as well. A little foil uncommon there. A Pirated Starfighter. There we go. All right, and then it's a Hyperspace leader. It's a Hyperspace Krennic.
There you go, dear.
I already had one of those, I think. Then we have a Hyperspace Academy Defense Walker. Chop Chop. I pulled a foil of him last night at the
nice.
And played it in the draft that we did. And then a foil Restored Arc 70. By the way, I love his subtitle.
What is it?
Chopper Metal Menace.
Yes.
He's
That is
fun.
entirely appropriate.
He's fun.
It's kind of one of those things that when I do costuming, I'm not really big. I'm not into the robotics or anything like that, but it kind of makes me want to build a chopper to have along with me when I'm dressed as Hera.
I gotta say, I almost want to get into the robotics just to build a chopper.
Yeah.
That would be fun.
That would be
That'd
hilarious.
fun. All right, so we have a regular rare Frontline Shuttle, another card that I definitely should get. I want a play set of. I think in the end that card's going to be a little slept on, pretty solid. We had a Hyperspace Base, and then there you go. It's only
the
uncommon,
Ghost.
but she's solid. Very, very good card.
Yeah. Very much so, Electric.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
I have not, in a number of years, thanks to COVID, like so many of us, I've put on a little bit of weight, so none of my costumes really fit right now.
That's both of us, by the way.
Yes, I know. he can't wear his Hawkeye at the moment, and probably wouldn't be able to fit into his Kanan that I made for him.
I can probably get Krennic on. Krennic actually fit me when I tried it on last year, and I haven't put on much weight since last year.
Right.
The trouble with Krennic is it's not done.
Yeah.
I have Krennic, I have the tunic, the pants, the cape. I have to assemble and paint the blaster. I have a belt. I need a holster and boots. So I have like 75% of a Krennic costume.
No. Joe, Chopper is not an assassin droid. That belongs to HK.
I mean, I'm not...
No.
Oh, look at that.
Oh.
Hyperspace Legendary Vader.
There you go.
That's nice to see. Another regular rare for a Han. A foil Ozzel. For the last pack in the box, that turned out to be pretty solid. And then just a little Hyperspace Gamorrean Guard. Hang on a minute. Hold that thought. So, all right. So box number 2 done. Right? We pulled a second showcase, which I still can't believe. My legendaries were a Hyperspace Vader, Avenger, Devastator, Cunning, and a foil Home 1. And of course, you can see the variety of Hyperspace cards in here. We did not get any Hyperspace rares, or Hyperspace foil rares, I don't think. Got a couple of leaders in here and a variety of other smattering of things. I got 5 Hyperspace bases this time. So, yeah, that's a again, solid box. I got 2 KSOs, another Saw, which is good. Solid. I like it. That was good. That was a solid box. Please.
I forgot where I was saying.
You were talking about your cosplays, what you had built.
Yeah.
What you were...
I have a Jyn Erso that I will definitely not be able to wear anytime soon. That I wore to Celebration 2017.
You wore to Jyn?
Yeah.
You wore Jyn? No, you wore Jyn.
2019.
You wore Jyn to 19, and you were still working on... You didn't get... Did you wear Hera at 19?
Yes, I did.
Okay, so you wore Jyn and Hera on different days at 19.
Yeah. Well, yes. Yeah. Chopper. Only because he is not I'm not even sure he's chaotic neutral. He may be even chaotic
Chopper
evil.
is chaotic evil. Like I don't think there's much argument there. Chopper is chaotic evil, and that's just how it is, kids.
Yeah.
Chopper is 100% chaotic evil. All right, let's pull the foils out because I don't really care about the foils. Just give it up, babe.
I know. I
just
hate
give
the
it
way
up.
I look on camera.
Well, knowing you, you're never going to like the way you look on camera.
Well, I've looked better on camera.
Fair.
I'll put it like that.
Haven't we all, dear? Haven't we all?
Feeling very self-conscious today. Sorry, guys. I have those moments. No, I am not in the same sphere of influence by any stretch of the imagination. I have made some pretty epic builds. I did Lady Sif. That's probably the best one I've done. I actually made one of the favorites for the cosplay photographer at Dragon Con. He absolutely adored it. That
Sif was really good.
My Lady Sif was really good.
Sif was good.
I made that while we were still living in Canada.
That was summer of 14. It's been 10 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely in the area of interest. I do mostly soft goods, patterning, sewing, that kind of thing. But Lady Sif was one of those that I made my first Warbler armor. So there's some things that I wish I could do a little differently, and maybe eventually I'll go back and redo some of it. But it was such an epic undertaking. That was the summer that I had to come home for medical treatments and stuff like that. And that was when I was here at the house by myself. That was what kept me busy. I would turn on movies and I would sit on the floor and I would work on patterns or paint or whatever.
It's a nice way to start the next box.
Oh, what's that? Sabine.
Hyperspace Sabine, Hyperspace base, right off the back. Pack number 1. Fat Man. And a little foil combo.
You're a wonderful human being, Jabba.
You're a wonderful human being, Jabba. Thanks, Han. I love that they didn't change that line.
I know.
I love they just left the line, like knowing it's completely ridiculous.
Well, but also it's so fitting for Han.
it's very fitting for Han. For him to like, it's almost like he's mocking him, right?
Yep.
My boy. That's 3 wedges. That's another deck that I'm ready to build.
Oh, I'm so there for
Rebel
that.
Vehicle. Oh yeah, sign me up for that, kids.
Yeah.
That's totally a thing. That's
Sign
gonna
me up for a wedge.
That's 100%. It's going to be a thing that. Oh, and a Chirrut. Almost missed out on him.
Chirrut.
Had him before, but that's good.
I wouldn't mind having Chirrut too.
Oh no, that's number 2. So we'll.
Okay.
That's another blue deck I'm going to look into at some point.
But yeah, you build wedge, I'll play that one too.
I'm hoping eventually we get Wedge as a leader. I would. Can you? I mean, we should have Wedge as a leader, or Akbar. Like Wedge should be a leader. Akbar should be a leader, right? Like we should. I mean.
I want Jansen too.
Okay, so there's legendary number 1 in this box, a Devastator number 3, foil Bodhi. So that's a regular rare in the foil slot. No hyperspaces in this particular pack. Some packs you get them 2 or 3. Some packs you get none. Just can't really predict it.
Currently, I kind of want to go back to my roots. I want to do Abby Whistler again.
Mace number 2, second legendary in the box.
Nice.
Like to see that. Foil Maximum Firepower. It's a pretty card in foil, actually. That's a card that I hope gets better. Right now, I'm not convinced it's really, really good. I think it's going to get better as the game develops a bit. Maximum Firepower. From my boy Veers. I cannot expect to find yet another showcase. Like that there's no way that should occur, right? Foil Hyperspace Super Laser Technician. Now, what I love about this card, every time I look at this card, I think of Daft Punk. And especially in the foil. Like in the foil for sure.
Let me see.
Look at that. Like that, I mean, tell me you don't think you're looking at Tron. You look like looks like you're looking at the Tron bar scene, right?
Yeah. End of line.
End of line, the End of Line Club. It's exactly what I think of.
Michael Sheen.
So Electric, right here. These cards, there are 18 what they call leaders. In the top left, it'll say leader, and then you build your whole deck around 1 leader and 1 base. You pick a leader and a base, and then what can go into your deck at that point is there are 4 aspects in the game based on there's 6 aspects in the game. You have red is aggression, green is command, yellow is cunning, and blue here is they call vigilance. On top of that, there are 2 more aspects. This white-looking symbol you see is for heroism, and this darker one right here is for villainy. So those are the 6 aspects in the game. Now, when you build a deck, you pick a leader and a base, and when you do that, you have 3 aspects. Okay. So, for example, in our little theoretical setup right here, I have red, I have aggression, command, and heroism. So I would be playing basically light side, right? Light side, green, red. That means that any cards that I play in my deck that match one of these aspects, I pay the printed cost for, as long as I have at least that many versions, of that aspect available. So if the card, for example, has 1 green aspect, and I have showing 1 green aspect on my leader, then I pay 1 to play this card. However, let's assume for a minute that I wanted to play, I wanted to play this card. Now I'm matching green, but I don't have villainy, I have heroism instead. Am I allowed to play this card? I am, but I have to pay extra for it. I have to pay 2 more plus 2, whatever the printed cost is, plus 2 for each aspect that I don't have. So in this instance, this card would not cost 2, this card would cost me 4 to play. If I was going crazy, could I play this card? I could, but it would cost me 8 because I don't have blue and I don't have villainy. Yeah. So I could play this card, but it would cost me literally double the printed cost. So you are highly incentivized to play within the colors that you choose based on your vase and your leader. Are you restricted? No, you aren't. You can play other things, but you pay a heavy premium for doing that. Now, let's go back and look at something else that you've seen go by. Over the course of the evening, you have seen me pull some cards that have double aspect. For example, this cunning. Yeah, exactly. Go and put that one back, right? No, put that one back. So let's assume for a minute that I wasn't playing Leia, that I was playing... Do I have a yellow leader in here laying around? Probably have to grab one. Yeah.
Jabba.
Jabba's not a leader.
Oh, he's not a leader? Okay.
Jabba's not a leader. Here we go. Fett. So let's assume that I was playing a setup like this. Okay. So this card has 2 cunning aspects on it. Can I play it? I can, but because I only am showing 1, I have to pay 6 instead of 4. If I want to pay the printed cost of this card, I have to play a combo like this. Yellow, yellow, villain. Now this card costs me 4. However, now I'm only playing yellow, yellow, villain. So now it's a question, I'm playing pure yellow villain. So now it's a question of what else can I put in that deck, right? You start, well, Jabba, yes. But you start to restrict yourself on what becomes available to you in terms of what you can reasonably afford over the course of a game. All right, have I been through this pack yet? Yeah. No, there's my rare, Tarkin Town. Another one of those.
I remember that from Rebels.
Yep, I don't think I have anything else fancy in here. No, we do not. Okay, so boop, done. So they're not really, they call it Star Wars Unlimited because there's not really deck building restrictions. It's more that there are deck building, they're not restrictions, they're penalties. They're penalties, right? If you don't have certain things, certain aspects available, you pay a penalty to play certain cards. Another Galactic Ambition, a card that we are told gets better as the game progresses. Right now, there's not a lot of good things to use that card on, but the designers have told us, yeah, right now that card doesn't look amazing, but wait a set or two and it'll look really, really good. So go ahead and pick them up now while they're cheap and stick them in the binder, I guess. See at least one hyperspace back here. What do we got? Another Rogue Operative. I had one of those last night in my draft.
Pathfinder.
Yep, she's pretty. Sneak Attack for a rare. And another foil Star Viper. Okay. So, Tank, the way this game works is you build a deck of 50 cards, and then when you draw cards, every round, you draw 2 cards at the end of a round. Okay, let me start this off. When the game starts, you draw 6 cards. You pick 2 of them to go face down in front of you as resources. Those cards are done. You'll never get to play them again. They are resources, okay? That's what you exhaust instead of tap. They exhaust it, right? You exhaust to spend to pay for things. At the end of every round, you draw 2 cards, and you are allowed, you are not required, you are allowed to take any other 1 card out of your hand face down as a resource. So every turn you can get a little bigger, a little bigger, a little bigger. Now there are cards in the game that allow you to speed that up. There's a couple of cards in the game that allow you to ramp a little quicker than your opponent. They're all in green. So if you come across an opponent who's playing green, he might be able to build a little quicker than you.
Luthen needs to be a green card.
Oh, I can't wait for... You know the cards I really want out of Andor? I want Marva, and I want Luthen. Luthen will be so... He will 100% be Red Rebel, right? Aggression. Like, oh, yeah. So we got an Agent Callus out of that. That's good. He is an excellent card.
But he's definitely going to have some sort of associated green card with him.
I don't know about green necessarily.
Well, not necessarily about green, but like as a very resourceful guy.
Yeah. He also might make a good leader.
He might.
He might make a good leader.
Well, I mean, he's a puppet master.
There's another Chariot. Several of those floating around now.
Freaking love Luthen.
No hyperspaces. Foil uncommon. What is our rare? It is a Search Your Feelings. You know it to be true.
I do miss the little lore snippets on the cards.
You know, that was fun. The Decipher cards were really fun for that. They had that little box of text at the top that had well, I won't say it had nothing to do with the gameplay. It had typically very little to do with gameplay, with the occasional keyword. But they were still fun. Okay, we've got a hyperspace boba. Another hyperspace back in here. A probe droid. Ooh, he's pretty with the snow and the blue. Check that out. I love the art.
It's a pity he self-destructs.
He doesn't actually.
Okay.
One of the games that I play,
In the movie.
yeah. Imperial Assault, the probe droids actually do have a self-destruct ability. Another Jedi lightsaber. Man, I got those coming out of my ears. Foil 2 tubes, another uncommon. Anything else in here? Nope, good to go. I know, Liquid. I loved those boxes. So I was a playtester for the Star Wars CCG, starting with Special Edition. I playtested that game, I think. That sounds right. I think it was Special Ed. It was Special Ed. Because I remember one of the original versions of, there were some cards in there. You know, they had that moment in the Special Edition version of Return of the Jedi where like Boba goes up and he tickles one of the dancers, like, ooh, baby, you know, or whatever. And so they took that card, and the original version of that card was a picture. That was the picture, and the card was called The Ladies' Man. And the original lore, when you get the playtest version of those old Decipher cards, was either blank or made up garbage or something like an inside joke. So, The Ladies' Man originally read, Boba Fett has been with many fine ladies, some of whom have been skanky. Do you remember if you played Liquid? Did you play the game during Endor? Do you remember Daughter of Skywalker, the version of Leia that came in the Endor? 2 Jedi lightsabers like back to back. Give me a break. God, I got tons of these things. I didn't take the base out of that last pack. Okay, so you remember Daughter of Skywalker. Okay, so Daughter of Skywalker is the version of Leia that's in Endor, and she's like 4 power, 5 ability. She's not bad. I think she's not a spy. I think she's still a leader. Yeah, with her hair down. Exactly. It's the picture of her like up in the Ewok village at night with her hair down. It's a really good art picture.
Before she and Han have
right, like yeah, before she and Han talk, or like after she and Luke talk, or whatever.
No, he's my brother.
Yeah, something like that. But the original lore on that card when she was in playtesting was literally just puts out. That's all it said in the box. Puts out. Oh yeah. It was silly. It was silly fun. Somewhere in one of my binders, I still have my old paper versions of all the playtest cards, all the playtest versions we went through of Endor and DS2. Foil Alliance Dispatcher. We had another hyperspace base, a regular rare of old Wrinkly. We like that. Go for Papa Palpatine. And there we go.
Then again, given where Leia started in that movie.
Well, yeah. Oh, I can see at least one hyperspace back here. What do we got? Jedi Agitator. Okay. Wow. Okay, guys. So here's you a pack. Double legendary pack.
Oh my gosh.
Hyperspace Millennium Falcon. Legendary. Regular Black 1. Legendary. Double legendary in one pack. I love the subtitle on Millennium Falcon, by the way.
What's it say?
Piece of junk. Millennium Falcon. Piece of junk.
Although Han calls it a hunk of junk.
No, I think...
Fastest hunk of junk.
I think, oh, he does call it the fastest hunk of junk in the galaxy. Another Cassian. Foil Hyperspace Snowtrooper Lieutenant. Emperor's Legion is my regular rare.
501st.
No other fancy cards in that pack, but that's okay. That is okay. I keep checking every pack thinking, what are the odds of me getting another showcase? The odds are just so bad. But it'd be hilarious if it happened. Another red 3. Foil Overwhelming Barrage, one of the better uncommons in the set if you're playing villain. And that's about it, really. Some other theoretically good stuff that will make good deck building later on. I keep checking. I'm going to keep checking. There's always that little voice in my brain that's like, you can just keep hoping. Another K2. That's good. That gives us a play set of K2s. A foil attach suppressor. There we go. Is Leaderhan rare? Leaderhan is rare. I looked right at Leaderhan, which I didn't have until this moment, and forgot he was a rare. So I'm going to pull him out. Four rare leaders in this box so far. And where are we at on legendaries? We had Black 1, Falcon, Mace, and Devastator.
How much a box on these, and is there just one run, no expansions yet?
Yeah, this is the initial set, Liquid. So no other expansions just yet. There's the starter decks. Here, I'll do this. The starter decks. I think you get both decks coming. It's a 2-player starter deck. Each deck is like 50 cards or whatever, and I think it's $35 for the starter set. And there are some cards you can only get out of the starter deck because FFG's not stupid and they know how to market. They want you to buy one of these. And then the packs are $5 a piece. Full retail on a box is $120. Depending on what you decide, or what kind of deal you cut with your local shop or whatever, you might be able to get things cheaper. All right, another Chopper, foil Jetta Agitator, and that would seem to be it. Maybe about 7 or 8 packs left. Getting down to the end of this one. Not quite done, but getting close.
I think you were pushing your luck with the Chewy.
I know I was pushing my luck with the Chewy. I'm still checking. I'm still going to be checking, sweetheart. All right, there's another Del Miko. That gives us 2 of those. I think I have a playset of Gideons now, and that's 2 Dels, which is good. You know what? I don't have an Iden yet. I have not actually pulled an Iden Versio yet. What's up, Mr. Dexter? Life is good. Life is good. We're doing the goofy tabletop gaming thing down here tonight.
Sort of.
Having fun with it. So we have a Hyperspace Gladiator Star Destroyer. That's pretty. I like that. Without the border, you can just kind of see more of the turbo laser blasts. That's pretty. Foil Moment of Peace. Had one of those earlier. Another Frontline Shuttle. Excellent. I needed another one of those. One more of those to a set. Liquid, I know exactly what you mean. I know exactly what you mean. I started to tell this story earlier. I sold right before the end of 2020, I think. I sold all of my Star Wars to a collector, and that helped fund all the stuff that I started doing in here. I used that money as seed money to buy like the shelving and some of the initial round of LEDs and all that sort of stuff in here.
Did you keep any?
Keep any what?
Of the
Star Wars?
Yeah.
It's gone. Got rid of all of it. All right, so this is actually a fun little pack for a variety of reasons. For starters, I've got a Hyperspace TIE Fighter, which looks gorgeous. Look at this guy. I love that. God, the borderless cards look... I wish they had just done every card borderless. They would look so amazing. I've got a Hyperspace Baze, which is fun. Regular Rare Han, which is a good card. And then a foil Legendary. That is a Cunning. So I actually have 4 copies of Cunning right now. And I will probably never play with the foil. So I've definitely got some good trade bait here for anybody who's anybody out there looking to build themselves a crazy set or whatever, right? We've got another Hyperspace Base, another Chopper Base there. Lots of Hyperspace locations. I have a foil Hyperspace Emperor Palpatine. Oh, man, that looks good. Look at that with the Force Lightning. Oh, he is so badass looking. I love that. Oh, I love that. What's my regular rare? Energy Conversion Lab. One of the better rares in the set. We like that. And that seems to be all of the bits. The rest is all just common, uncommon stuff.
Yes. Yes, electric on both counts.
The hair didn't give it away? I figured the hair gave it away.
Yeah. I do brighten it up a bit. Just,
you do, but
just in full disclosure.
Your natural color is still red.
Yes.
There's Iden Versio. That's what we needed.
There you go.
Now we can build that deck. Looking forward to that. That's one I've been wanting to try. Hyperspace Piet. Bombing Run is our regular rare. And then a little foil common back there.
Although my family is also Italian, but you have to get back to the 1500s before... no, excuse me. You have to get back to 1400s.
2 packs left. Hyperspace Krennic, another one of those. Hyperspace Strike True.
That reminds me, I got invited to go to the DAR meeting.
Okay.
Next week.
A Hyperspace Foil Infiltrator's Skill. Fancy. Regular rare is You're My Only Hope.
Adeldrill's asking how you're...
What's the logic? So right now, Adeldrill, okay, at the moment, I'm grouping them just because I'm kind of showcasing what came in the box. So I'm doing just regular foils. I'm just kind of shoving off to the side. All the Hyperspace cards are basically going here. I'll put the Palpatine in that pile. Everything else goes out here, so you can clearly see all the rares and legendaries and all that sort of thing. All right, last one. Get rid of that. Last pack in this particular box, box number 3.
Oh, good call bringing the box in.
Yep. Okay, so for the first time, ladies and gentlemen, I have opened a box
without
a showcase in it. Yeah. Aww, Sag.
That's because he pulled the other one.
Super Sag.
Yeah.
Okay, we ended this box with a Saw Gerrera. That's not bad. Again, that gives me a playset. That's 3 of those now. Foil Dodona, quite a lovely card. I had one of those in my first pre-release. And I don't think there's anything else particularly noteworthy in this pack. I'll have a quick peek.
Have they put one Mothma in here anywhere?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. You want to see one?
Yeah.
She is good. The art on it is beautiful. That's a card I wouldn't mind having a Hyperspace version of. I'll find one. I had a Mon Mothma in one of my first pre-releases. I played Jyn Erso, and I had a Mon Mothma and 2 General Dodonas and a bunch of Rebels in my little sealed deck. Oh, man. She is so good. When you play her to the board, she lets you peel away the top 5 cards of your deck, pick a Rebel, and put them in your hand. Nice. And so she replaces herself. Now, she's not very strong, right? I think she's like 1-3 or 1-4 or something like that. So she's a little hard to kill, but she doesn't do a lot of damage. But she's very, very handy in terms of the utility that she brings to a Rebel deck. And then when you put Dodona out there, now she hits for 2. Now she's a little respectable. Now I opened one in this box.
I'm looking forward to the 2nd season of Andor just to see
more of Genevieve Corey.
Yeah.
Oh, she's so good.
She is so good.
She's so good in that part. And it's fun. It's been fun watching her story, right? Because for years we really haven't known. I'm on the wrong thing. We haven't known much about Mon Mothma, have we? Right? Like you know she's there. You know she's a senator, but you don't know anything about her backstory.
No, for her backstory, no. We do know more about what happens among the Senate.
Got one in here. Hold on.
The Senate rebels, basically. Which Padme was a member of.
Of course. With Bail and her.
Yeah. You know, by going through the legends in the EU, you know more about her interaction with everyone who formed that faction.
Good art, by the way.
Yeah.
Really good depiction of her.
I'm still mad that we don't have a Garmbel Iblis.
So it's going to be interesting to see, right? Because I think they're not going to be afraid to touch some of the Legends stuff.
Well,
but I'm not sure how much of it they're going to touch.
Well, with Filoni in there, I know they're not afraid to touch it.
Well, you're talking about Disney. I'm talking about FFG in the game.
Well, FFG, true. But I'm also talking about, like, I want to see Garmbel Iblis, but I'm almost afraid that you basically have him broken out into 2 characters now, which are basically Saw Gerrera and Luthen. Because we also don't know much about Luthen's background either, which is going to be very interesting.
So into box number 3, what have we got for legendaries out of this box? We got a foil Cunning, we had a Mace, a Hyperspace Falcon,
She's so good.
a black one, a Devastator. Let's see, and then we had at least one really fun Hyperspace foil. We had a Hyperspace foil Palpatine, which looks really good with the crazy lightning coming out of his fingers. Big pile of just hyperspaces in general. I'm trying to think, I don't think there's another legendary. A lot of rare leaders in this box. I got 2 Chariots, an Iden, a Cassian, and a Han. So out of one box, we got a lot of the rare leaders in one place, which is fun. The Hyperspace Falcon is also probably one of the more sought after cards at the moment, just because it is pretty. The hyperspace ships in particular look really, really good. I'm a big fan of those. All right, well, let's pull the foils out as we do. Put all the regular hyperspaces in one stack. All the foils in another. And everything else in whatever is left.
You're going to have another sorting night down here.
Sure am. Sure am.
He used to spend hours sitting, sorting cards, and putting them in his binders when he was building sets.
Sure.
And all this other kind of stuff.
You do what you got to do, baby.
Yeah, I know.
If you spend the time up front, it makes building decks go much faster later because you know where to find everything.
Pass me the bourbon. Thank you.
Pass me the bloody bourbon. All right, box number 4, last box of the night. If I was bothering to look, there's probably a few rares I don't even own yet, but nothing that I am particularly upset that I don't own yet. Dankeschön. All right, let's get started, kids. You had some decent cards, Liquid, in your old SWCCG days? I believe it. I 100% believe it.
You had autographed cards.
Not in Star Wars.
Not in Star Wars?
The only autograph I have for Star Wars is this guy on the wall over here. You guys can't see it off camera. I'll put a picture later. So I have Liquid. You'll probably be interested in this. I still have all of my old. If you remember Liquid, they made posters for each new set, right? Decipher's art department. They made big, like regular size posters. And they made long ones. The long one, they were like 3 feet wide, about 12 inches tall. I have a complete set of all the long, skinny ones for every Star Wars CCG expansion set. Premiere, New Hope, Hoth, Dagobah, Cloud City, and then Special Edition, and then Jabba, Endor, and DS2. So, and they're not framed. I had them mounted on like foam board, and then had, what do you call it?
A mat.
Like a mat put around it, a very small mat, like about a half inch. They're pretty. They look really nice. But over here, one of the Decipher's online contests, it's off camera, you can't see it.
Yeah.
I have the full-size poster, wall poster for Cloud City. Now, if you remember the old Decipher Star Wars CCG, Cloud City was the best artwork, the best art that department ever did. It's all screen caps from the film, but they did a brilliant job getting the rich oranges and colors out of the set, and those cards just popped. They were so beautiful. Captain Han Solo, right, with that orange and blue on his face, Princess Leia with kind of that same shading, just so many gorgeous cards in Cloud City. And this one is Boba Fett. It's a big picture of Boba Fett with Bespin in the background and all this orange. It matches the room very well, but it's signed by Jeremy Bulloch. And I won that from Decipher in some online contest on their website, and they mailed it to me. Like it came in the mail with a big pile of other posters. All right, so we're starting things off here with box number 4 with a regular Cassian leader. We've got a Hyperspace Partisan Insurgent. Our regular rare is an Emperor's Royal Guard. That'll be good trade bait. That's number 4, so I don't actually need him at the moment. And then I've got a foil Hyperspace System Patrol Craft. I gotta say, the Hyperspace ships are probably some of my favorite. Like every starship that I play, I'm gonna desperately want like the Hyperspace version of. I can just tell because they just look so good. Pull that out. Hyperspace Occupier Siege Tank. Another Devastator. Whew. I've gotten one of those in like everything I've ever opened. I think I have 4 of those now. Foil Rebel Pathfinder. Foil Common. Okay, cool.
Excuse me.
See something hyperspace? Hyperspace Snow Speeder. That's pretty. Look at that. Without the border on it. It's almost blinding.
As Hoth would be.
Exactly. That's what I love about it. It's almost blinding.
Whenever I'm in Star Wars, whenever I'm in Tor, I almost have to put on my gunners to whenever I have to be on Hoth.
Be on Hoth. Yeah. I felt that way when I friggin' lived on Tatooine and Galaxies. God, I hated that dump.
Like, Ilum is very similar, but the sky is dark. So you've got that contrast, and it's not quite as blinding.
Yep. Relentless, regular rare. Foil, regular 7th Fleet Defender. Another Han leader. Another Tarkin Town. A foil Gideon Hask, which I don't really need, but that's fine. I bet I can find someone who wants it. Hopefully. Hopefully there'll be somebody out there who'll be like, yeah, I'll take that off your hands. Be like, excellent, let's make a deal. Something about the hyperspace foils that is kind of appealing, but I'm not a tremendous fan of the regular foils. I don't think I'm going to hardly ever keep any of those. Yeah, Adeldrell, definitely the round. I'm a big fan of the rounding corners. It's something that most CCGs, in my experience, have always done. Easier for handling. I mean, baseball cards, of course, meant to be really more collected, and whereas the card, these are game cards. You're going to be handling them all the time, so the rounded edges makes a lot more sense.
Yeah, can't tell you how many baseball cards I had that the corners got screwed up on.
Foil Vanquish, Sneak Attack.
Thankfully, most of them were not worth much. I'm not even sure I could find the ones I have.
A hyperspace foil reinforcement walker. Man, that's gorgeous. Look at that.
Pretty.
Look at that. On the beach, on Scarif. That's pretty. Like that one. Another strafing gunship. Excellent. That gives me a playset. That's 3 of those. Glad to see that. Very glad to see that. Another hyperspace Sabine. Hyperspace Maximum Firepower. That one's not as pretty. That might be one of the first hyperspace cards I've ever looked at and went, it's not bad, but It's got more color to it. Mm-hmm. The plain villain cards are very dark. Foil Distant Patroller. Hyperspace Krennic, another one. Plenty of those rolling around in my piles over here. Third for a Cause, love that. Foil Fet's Fire Spray. That gives me a play set at least if I decided I needed 3 of those in a deck. At 6 cost, I don't think I would ever play 3 of them. I think 2 is probably the right number. It's an excellent card. You definitely want it on the board. I just don't know that. I think 3 feels excessive.
And now I have MC Chris running through my head.
My backpacks got jets. I'm Boba the Fett. That's right. I love that old Galaxies video to that song.
Yeah.
Oh, that was so good. That was so good. So anybody needs Jedi lightsabers, I can hook you up. I think I have about 6 of them now. That is easily the rare I have pulled the most of, and I have pulled an excessive number of them.
They're only doing that because you hate the Space Wizards.
You're not wrong. I pulled like all these Jedi lightsabers and like no Fallen lightsabers, right? Which is the dark side equivalent of the same card. Hyperspace Mercenary Company. Avenger. Another legendary. So we've gotten an Avenger and a Devastator. I keep getting lots of Star Destroyers, which I'm not going to complain about, but goodness, it feels a little excessive right now. Do those sabers at least have different colors? They do not. They are all actually at the moment. The Jedi lightsaber artwork. It's not even like on. It's just showing you on like a Jedi. It's just like on the Jedi. It's on his belt. Yeah, it's just a hilt on a belt. Unfortunately, nothing too exciting there. Hyperspace location. Hyperspace base, I should say. Another legendary, another black one. Yay. I keep thinking or hoping that maybe that card will be better once we have some more resistance stuff to put around it. But right now, it's like, I don't really see the appeal here, guys. Oh, I looked right at him. Rare Palpatine. Papa Palpatine leader. I think that now means I have all of the rare leaders. There was one in each color. You had Iden, Palpatine, Han, and Han, Cassian, Hera. Okay, so there's obviously more than I'm thinking. There's another Chirrut. Speaking of rare leaders, more that I'm forgetting right now. Apparently,
Liquid's asking if you're.
Would I ever want to design a game? No, no, thank you. Ooh, the Hyperspace Death Trooper looks pretty awesome.
That looks pretty.
I like
cool.
that guy. I realized I should have backed off to this view a little while ago and forgot. Another red 3. Plenty of those floating around. No, I wouldn't want to design a card game. I'm much more interested in playing a game than designing one. Foil Hyperspace Frontier ATRT. Okay, sure. Another K2. Hyperspace Distant Patroller. So far, this box has been a little less whelming than the other ones.
Yes.
I do have 2 Vaders, though. I can't really complain about that too loud.
Maybe I should go away and come back. So
Nah, you're fine. Extra Del Miko. I think that's my 4th one now. Or 3rd. That's my 3rd one of him, I think.
You used all your RNG luck on the showcase.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong, Xanda. You're 100% correct. I should probably not play boats tomorrow because my RNG will be terrible. My salvos will miss everything. Don't let me play Battleship tomorrow, guys. I won't be able to hit anything. It'll be bad. It'll be really bad.
You know, I don't know. I haven't seen the new season or the latest season.
Or they're Death Troopers and the Mandalorian. I haven't seen the latest season. The mechanical ones that you saw were not Death Troopers. They were robots. Mm-hmm. Death Troopers are actually people. All right, so I've got a Hyperspace Consortium Starfighter, a Hyperspace 7th Sister. So she's a regular rare, so that's that's in the uncommon slot. I've got a regular rare Chopper, and then a foil 5th Brother. That's a nice pack. Occasionally you get one of these packs, it's just packed, it's just jam chock full of good stuff.
Sand.
Oh, hush, Electric. Hush. If you think I'm going to play Saipan ever again, you're on crack. They have to fix that shit before I'll touch it again. It's terrible. It's in such a bad state. I don't know why they don't. All the other ships in the game get fixes, but not Saipan. Saipan, they just leave to rot. Okay. There's my 3rd frontline shuttle. That's good. Needed that. Play set of those now. I have a foil common. Yay. And then what else have we got on here? A Hyperspace Sneak Attack. So another rare. So another double rare pack. Welcome back, Necro. We're getting down to about the last third of the last box here. We'll see if we can salvage this one. This one has not felt quite as good as the first two so far, I gotta say. Not just because of the showcases either. Not just because of the showcases either. Another Han. Regular foil Echo Base Defender. Another common. Good thing is that you're getting lots of uncommons. I mean, some of the uncommons in this game are amazingly strong. And this is the kind of, like, you kind of have to buy in bulk to get enough of them, really. All right. Get rid of you. What do we got here? I have a Hyperspace Disarm. We have a Bombing Run for my regular rare, which is not too bad. A Foil Homestead Militia. It's okay. That card's actually better than I thought it was, now that I actually read it. For a common, I hadn't actually seen one of those until tonight. To collect and not play. Okay. Yeah, Liquid, I hear you there, buddy. I hear you. Well, okay, now, you shouldn't do that. Aviary, the nerf to Aviary was very mild. The ship is still incredibly capable. Don't throw Aviary out with the bathwater just because they nerf the torps a little bit. That's unfair to Aviary. She's better than that. We have a Hyperspace Wilderness Fighter. A foil rare, that's a Galactic Ambition. A regular rare, that's an Energy Conversion Lab. Okay. All right, 4 packs left. Been pretty happy with this. There's a few legendaries that I have 0 of, but that's kind of to be expected given the nature of legendaries. You're protesting. You go right ahead, my friend. I'm going to continue. I played a lot of Aviary in Tier 6 ranked and crushed people. It was fun. Another You're My Only Hope. Blech. Regular foil rogue operative. And, yeah, no, nothing else particularly interesting. So we have 2 hyperspace cards to kick this pack off. I have a Hyperspace Chewie. And a Hyperspace Echo Base. Another Saw. That gives me a little bit of trade bait. Somebody out there probably want him. A Foil Academy Training. Another common.
Speaking of Jabba.
What?
Speaking of Ezra as Jabba.
Ezra as Jabba?
Yeah, that was the name he gave when he got captured, or he got found out. He said his name was Jabba.
I don't remember that.
That was the ongoing joke in Rebels.
Okay.
Was that anytime the imps caught him,
yeah,
he used the name Jabba, the Hutt, rather than give his own name.
Speak and he shall appear. Another Jabba. What does he even do? Each trick event you play costs less. When played, search the top 8 cards of your deck for a trick event, reveal it, and draw it. Interesting. Okay. So he's like an event-focused dude. Foil Power of the Dark Side. And not much else. All right, guys. Dead last pack of the night. Exactly. Drum roll, please. Here we go. Let's see what we got. You ground Adriatico and Brawl. Oh, you can absolutely beat a Fletcher with an Adriatico. 100%. People rag on Adriatico, but it's not a bad boat. A regular Grand Inquisitor. That's good. I actually don't think I had a regular one. I think all I had was the Hyperspace one I pulled somewhere along the way. We have a Hyperspace Dagobah Swamp. U-Wing Reinforcement, regular rare. Foil Shoot First, which of course has Han's picture on it, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, love that. Anything else in here? Nope. Good to go. There you go. All right. Box number 4. So this one, not quite as many legendaries. Let's see. Mostly ships. Avenger, Devastator, Black One. I'm missing a legendary here. I feel like
Didn't you get a Falcon?
that was last box.
That was the last box.
Only 3 legendary. This one's all ships, I think. I'm looking. I'm not seeing. Most of this is regular rares. Yep. Yep. Avenger, Devastator, and Black One were the legendaries in this box. So a little disappointing. Not garbage, but a little like, it was okay. You know, it was a thing. It happened. Okay. Nothing super amazing on the hyperspace side, but that's okay. Still cool. Very good. Lots of good stuff. I probably need to sit down and look at where I'm at on rares. I've probably got some rares that I actually don't have yet, but that's fine. That's what trading and you know, weeknights are for, right? So we'll figure it out. Those 2 showcases will be good trade bait. The Chewy I kind of have very little interest in. The Sabine I might actually keep. I feel like I might play the Sabine. The Chewy I doubt I'll play. That seems pretty unlikely. Play unit that costs 3 less mana, gain Sentinel for this phase. That's interesting. So you have to constantly chew through a wave of weenies. And this guy's got Sentinel and Grit. Oh, he's rude. Maybe I might play him after all. He's expensive, though. He comes out at the same time as Vader. Like, in terms of how long you have to wait before you can get him on the board.
Oh, because he costs so much.
Because he costs so much. Yeah, he's expensive. He's expensive. Well, boys, ladies and gentlemen, that is all we got for opening. I'm probably going to sit here and sort cards for a bit. We can keep chatting if anybody wants to. I'm game. I think I pulled all the foils out of these, didn't I? I pulled all the foils out? No, I left a few. I probably shouldn't have. Yeah, I'll go through and pull them all out. That'll go in the stack of foils that people might want. This was the most recent. This was the last box I just opened. Yes. I only have the foil home one. I probably don't want to get rid of that.
We're going to have to find a home for all your binders again?
Well, so what I'm going to do here, I'll put together a set binder, but I'll figure that out. I'll probably keep them upstairs, honestly. You got the foils out of here? Looks like I did. Yeah, okay.
Got a lot of work to do in the queen room anyway.
Yep. No, I'll probably keep...
and in the king room.
Yep. I'll probably keep binders upstairs and boxes. What I need to do is finish cleaning out some space in the closet. Right, I've already done a lot of work in that upstairs closet. I need to keep doing some more in there. I probably need to pull out all that Lord of the Rings stuff that I still have in binders and just, you know, ship it off to one of these companies that wants it and, you know, give me $100 for it and it's all yours. Like, I don't even know what's in there. I'm never going to play the game again, right?
No.
That is a lot of foils, especially for cards that I'll probably never play. That's crazy. That's a lot of foils. Well, so Raptor, we have a giant closet upstairs off of one of our guest rooms that is.
The room used to be our study, our gaming room.
The room was our home office, was our study for the first 12 years we lived in this, 15 years we lived in this house.
15 years, yeah.
15 years we lived in this house. That was our study, and then along the way, we swapped that room around, and it is now simply a guest room. The closet in that room has, our house has what they call, it's this goofy home director box. So the whole house is wired for coax and Cat5, and all of them go into this box in that closet. So right now we have a switch in there, and then the fiber modem sits in that closet, and then we put a bunch of shelving in there for whatever. Over the years, it used to gather up all of the empty tech boxes. So like as we would, you know, buy a keyboard.
Build and upgrade computers.
As you'd buy PC components and you'd take the empty box and you'd shove it in the closet in case you needed to box it up, ship it, sell it, whatever. Finally, about 2 years ago, I started cleaning that crap out. And then about 2 or 3 months ago, I went in there and just cleaned out a whole bunch of trash, threw a bunch of stuff out. It's gotten too cluttered and garbagey. Now you can actually maneuver in there now, but it needs more work. Like we've done some, it needs more.
But it also has our games. It also has a lot of our costume bits and pieces.
It's where we store a lot of our cosplay stuff.
Yeah, it's where what's left of my comic book collection is in there.
Mine too.
And yours too.
Mine too.
Yeah.
We don't have large collections. but we do have some. Yep. That was a story that I was going to tell earlier and kind of didn't get around to. I kind of got interrupted by something else, but the old we were talking about. You guys were talking about grading the Pokemon cards, right? The company that had graded that Pokemon card for whatever reason. The only time I've ever considered doing something like that is way back in the day, the old Batman the Animated Series back in mid-90s, right? Good job, Gabe. And they printed comics to go with it after a time. Same art team, same writing team. They were just printing comics instead of making the TV show. Now, remember, this was the creative team that invented Harley Quinn, the character, right? She was a character on the show, on the animated series, before she was anywhere else. They invented that character. Her very first in-print issue is, whatever they call it, Batman Adventures or whatever, number 7 or 6, or I can't remember what it is. I actually have that comic book, and I looked it up a number of years ago, and turns out that's actually a pretty valuable comic book. It's about the only one I've ever bought that ended up worth anything. And so I have strongly considered, and never gotten around to, sending that off to have it graded and sealed up in one of the little hard plastic shells and stuff.
We should do that.
We should, because it's in the safe with all of our valuable documents and stuff, because the last time I checked, in good condition, it was worth $300 or $400. And I was kind of like, okay, well, I shouldn't just leave this sitting around in a plastic bag in my closet with junk, right? So I pulled that one out.
Where the Texas humidity.
Right, where the heat will occasionally break through the AC, and it gets kind of warm in that closet with all the electronics in there. So to go back to, who was it that asked the question about sorting? Was it Adeldrell? Somebody asked the question about how I was going to sort all this mess.
He'll break it down into these groups.
So I'm going to break it down by color. And then what I'm doing after that is I'll break it down by aspect. Okay, so some of these cards are yellow hero, some of them are yellow villainy, and some of them are just yellow. So I will break them out into color groups, and then I'll sort them into piles.
Switch the camera view.
So red, green, blue, yellow, white, and black, right? And then neutral. There's a little neutral pile. There's a handful of cards that have no aspect that you can just plug into anything you want. So right now I'm just sorting by color, and then when I'm done doing that, I'll sort them within that color into, yellow villain, yellow hero, and then I'm just going to put them in boxes. I've just got boxes. I'll just put all the yellow cards in a box, all the green cards in a box. Because what's going to happen is when I sit down to build a deck, I'm going to go, okay, I want to build yellow-red. And so I'm going to grab the yellow box and the red box, and then I'll have, and my set binder, and then I'll have everything I need to build a deck. That's how I used to do it. When I played Destiny, I did it by set. And I may yet get back to that here, but I feel like this is going to be a simpler way to manage it. We'll see how it goes. I haven't yet 100% decided. Green, red, yellow, blue, gray, white, black. I mean, this is not exciting to watch. I was just chatting while I did it because it gives me, you guys being here gives me somebody to talk to while I do the boring and inane part of tonight.
Yeah, I'll should probably go upstairs.
So what I'll probably end up with is I'll end up with a box for each of the colors, and then a box that is all of the bases, and all of this mess will all go into a box. All right, I'll put black, white, gray, and bases into one box, and then the other colors will all have their own home. To sit down and work on a set binder at some point so I can figure out what I'm missing. I know I can think of a couple rares that I didn't end up with, but that actually irritate me a little bit. Like No Seventh Sister kind of makes me sad. But I've got some good trade bait. I shouldn't have any problem moving things like that extra Royal Guard and stuff like that, because those are cards that people want. If you're going to play it, you're going to play 3, right? If you're going to put it in the deck at all, you're putting 3 in. to be really, really tall piles by the time I'm done. I may not sort them tonight other than just by color. And then I'll just box everything up and call it a night. And then I'll come back in here, you know, Friday night or on the weekend or something and just throw something on the TV, throw something on the screen here and just sort cards for a bit to kind of get everything organized so that I can sit down and build some decks before next week. And next week I'll probably just go play regular constructed rather than do draft again. Okay, I've got green in 2 piles. I screwed that up. There we go. Appreciate you guys hanging out with me, though. This has been nice. It's been fun. I'm not going to lie. It's nice sharing my my crazy addiction with other people. Even if...
Cardboard crack.
Yeah, my cardboard crack. Yeah, exactly. Your boy.
Yes, indeed. Still not over it.
Nope. Nope. He's really good, by the way.
Heal 1 damage. Oh.
Yeah, he's really good.
Yeah.
The Spectre deck is one that I absolutely want to try. It might be garbage, but I'm going to try it, right? Because it's super thematic and it looks like a hell of a lot of fun.
It's a shame we're not going to see him in live action.
Well, you say that. You don't know that.
Freddie said no.
Okay. Freddie doesn't own the character. Freddie said he won't do it. That doesn't mean you won't see him in live action.
Yeah, they've already screwed up Hera. So.
I'm just saying those are not mutually exclusive.
I know.
Freddie was the voice actor on the cartoon. He doesn't own the character.
Kanan even kind of looks a little like Freddie too.
That may be, but the bottom line is that he doesn't get that. He doesn't have that authority.
I know.
He didn't have to like it, but that's reality. Disney owns the character.
I'm still mad they didn't put Vanessa in as Hera, but
I am too a little bit. That was disappointing.
that was really disappointing.
Gabe, I really need to. And you and Formula keep asking the right questions because Formula actually gifted me a copy. And I have 2 good friends that play, and they have both repeatedly offered to teach me, and I have never made the time to stop and learn. I suspect that's something that I might be able to try over the summer for reasons that I won't go into right now. But it is a strong possibility that's something I can get to later this year. Probably between now and summer, my focus is going to be trying to do stuff in this room, and keeping up with the regular bits that we do on for Civ and everything else.
Well, we got a lot of work to do around the house too.
I'm well aware of that, Heather. But I mean, what? That's what I get. Yep, I have not forgotten about you, Formula. Trust me, it's still on my radar, and my 2 buddies are keeping me honest. Right, every now and then they'll be like, "So, are you ready to learn Stellaris yet?" And I'm like, "Crap, I don't know when I'm going to find the time." Right, so that's not anything you guys have done wrong. That is all streamer fail. So don't worry. Don't feel bad. Don't feel bad on your end. Do.
I'm nearing the end of the Girl Scouts.
Oh no. Have I ever played Sins with a Star Wars mod? I did play Sins. I did not play with the Star Wars mod. Truth be told, the Sins mod I always wanted to try was Babylon 5. Does Boat still do birthday coupons? I don't know, actually. Hold on a second. Let me look. My birthday was only a few months ago. I'll go into my email and see if there is one in there. I feel like the answer is yes. But I genuinely do not remember. Let's see. My birthday was mid-January. Yes. I got an email the day before my birthday Let me look this up. Come on. What is this? I'll just look in this email. 7 days of premium, 2 super containers, a coupon that will give you 100% return in doubloons on a single purchase in the premium shop. Yep, that's from the NA Warships guys. Yep. So yes, the answer is apparently yes. Hoosier. Hopefully that answers your question. Should come the day before. You're on your birthday or the day before.
There we go. I should go upstairs and continue grinding.
Different kind of grinding?
Different kind of
Different kind of grinding.
The annoying kind.
I can't say much. I was playing a whole bunch of Warcraft until recently, so I haven't played much in a couple weeks.
Well, this is the first time in probably 3 or 4 seasons that Tor has actually given me something as a seasonal reward that I want to do.
Which is?
They gave us a stronghold on the Chiss world of Capero.
That's the one you have that goofy poster for in the stone room?
Yes.
Okay. I think I sort of know what you're talking about now.
Yeah, I got that one at Celebration.
I remember that.
And unlike some of the other strongholds, you have to actually play the season and level through the seasons or season events to unlock all of the rooms in the stronghold. And this is actually a really large stronghold.
Lots of rooms to unlock.
Lots of rooms to unlock.
Okay.
It's beautiful. My guildies and I spent some time mountain goating last night, climbing.
What does that mean?
We were climbing around the rock outcroppings and all of that kind of stuff, and basically getting up on top of roofs and stuff like that into the areas that we can't unlock yet. We were bored.
Nerds.
Yeah, I know.
So rather than spend time unlocking them, you're just trying to explore them, even though they're still locked.
So the biggest problem with unlocking them right now is that essentially I'm having to run flashpoints on a higher difficulty level. Like most of the time I just run stuff solo. I've got a max level tune and a couple of max level companions, and I can go and run it. But they're requiring you to run it on veteran mode or above to do some of this stuff. And some of them are not very solo friendly. And I've had a lot of bad experiences with the group finder yeah.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah.
Group finders are traditionally not awesome.
Yeah, they're not my favorite.
No.
So now it's a matter of organizing this ragtag group of friends that I hang out with, fellow nerds, to be able to do the PvE content in order to progress to the next level. Like some of the, it's some of my least favorite. Like I enjoy running flashpoints. Don't get me wrong, but there are flashpoints that I do not enjoy in this game, and I think they picked all 4 of the ones that I hate as the first set of season objectives. So.
Oh, Hetman, like you get to talk. Just saying. Just
Hetman,
saying.
You hang out with us, dude.
I was gonna say, like, dude, you're sitting here on Twitch. Like, I don't think you can throw stones, my friend. I don't think you get to throw stones there.
I'm not gonna put that on the microfiber.
It's not gonna hurt. It'll dry.
Yeah, I know.
Airfare for what, Striker? Necro's asking about your nectar.
Yes, it is sweet tea. It's not very sweet though because I just had a lemon cooler Girl Scout cookie, so that was my mistake.
You fool! You stole fizzy lifting drinks!
Yes, I know. It'll be fine in a few minutes.
That'll buff right out.
Oh no, this is iced. I don't know. Hey, Necro, you can make it yourself.
So, Necro, our cheat for making sweet tea, right? Because here's the trick, right? Sweet tea, in order to make sweet tea properly, the sugar should be dissolved in the tea. It should be real sugar, and it should be dissolved in the tea, which means you can't add like raw granulated sugar. No, hold on. You say you're too lazy. Hold on, I'm not done yet. Okay? Like raw granulated sugar into a glass of cold tea is a fail, right? That's not going to produce sweet tea. That's going to make you sad is what it's going to do. So,
And crunchy.
So what you do...
Sweet tea should not be crunchy.
Sweet tea should not be crunchy. So what you do is you make simple syrup. If you've never made simple syrup, it's dirt easy. You get a little pot, okay? You put equal parts sugar and water, and you don't even have to boil it. You put it on low heat, right? Until the sugar, you stir it a little bit. Give it about 10 to 15 minutes on low heat. Try not to boil it, right? And then just let the sugar dissolve, and then put it in a container, get you a little pint or 2 pint container, put it in the fridge, right? And then anytime you want sweet tea, you have liquid sugar that will easily dissolve in your tea. Make you a cup of tea, put a little sugar in it, bam, sweet tea. It's the poor man's simple, easy way to make sweet tea. And you never have to worry about having to like make it in the pot and it going bad on you or souring on you because you didn't drink it fast enough or whatever. And the other nice thing is if you're a coffee drinker, that simple syrup goes great with your coffee too because it dissolves so much easier, right? Whether your coffee is hot or cold, it doesn't matter.
I made brown sugar syrup the other day.
Hoosier, there's nothing wrong with that. Plenty of people drink unsweet tea. And there's, again, nothing wrong with that at all. Not for me, not my thing, but you do you, boo.
Well, they're in an ad break. Some of those guys are not going to be able to see that.
That's fine. Crap happens. No offense. You want to skip ads? Sub up, baby. Just saying.
Snob.
Yes, ma'am. Also, Twitch is going to force them down your throat whether I do or not. So, you better just roll with it.
I know.
You don't get a say anymore. Twitch has taken that away from you.
Oh, I like both electric. But here's the thing. I was raised in Georgia, and
the whole other box still worth it.
one of the problems that I have now is that I didn't really drink a whole lot of water. I drank sweet tea growing up. So now that I'm older and body chemistry changes and all of that kind of stuff, I really need to be drinking more water, but I can't stand it. It has no flavor. And so, yeah, I struggle. So what
Delicious.
You suck. So what I'm trying to get myself to do is add a little less sugar to my sweet tea, or find a flavored tea that doesn't require a lot of sugar or any sugar. So we're working on that.
Whereas I grew up in a world without much sweet tea, spending a lot of time doing Boy Scout crap outdoors, and I learned to drink a lot of water. Now, I'll say this. I hate Gatorade.
Yeah.
Can't stand Gatorade. It's nasty. Can we turn her up? We can probably turn her up. Let's see.
The other problem is that he just talks too damn loud.
Well, you're not wrong. Hold on a minute. Let's see. What pack are you on? Are you on 1? You're on 1.
I'm on 1.
Let me turn you up a little bit. That should help a little bit. Try that.
The rain in Spain stays mainly in the plain.
Dun, 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 dun. That should help.
Formula, I actually have...
Yeah, see, you're peeking out now. Let me tone you down just a hair.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I actually have the Paris from Harney & Sons. The only complaint I have is that I usually make a 6-ounce brew in the Keurig with that because it's actually made for hot tea. I end up only making a 4-ounce, so... But the Paris is very, very good iced. Yeah. Peach tea is actually one of the ones I can get away with drinking without a whole lot in it.
She does not like eggnog.
The only eggnog I will drink is the kind like his mother makes.
Yeah. So I have a recipe that Mom gave me that she makes at Christmas, homemade eggnog. And you say that's not true. It's not true because the stuff that we buy from the local dairy is very, very close to that recipe.
Yeah, but that's because it tastes like your mother's.
It's the same basic idea.
So.
Yeah. So like if I go buy like Borden eggnog, like mass-produced Joe Blow eggnog, she won't drink it. I'll drink it. I love the stuff. Eggnog tea. Do you know? I feel like didn't we find some of that at that place in Alexandria once?
Maybe.
I think so.
I don't know. Well, Hetman, they're putting one here.
So, I have not... Okay, so Hetman, I have not found one yet. The last time I saw one, they were expanding. They were still moving into San Antonio and Austin. I have not heard of one in Houston yet. If it's here, I don't know of it. It might be, and I haven't found it yet.
Bigelow's not bad. I am very definitely a tea snob. So
Hoosier, I 100% agree. She also grew up on well water, which is another reason I can't understand why she doesn't drink water.
Because the well water tastes completely different.
I know, it's so much better.
It is, and the chlorinated stuff that we get out of the tap is nasty, so that when I do drink water, it either has to be bottled or filtered.
That's fair. I'll give you that, right? I grew up drinking city water, so I just roll with it, right?
Yeah.
But at the same time, you're not wrong. I can taste a difference. I can tell a difference. So I will grant you that for sure.
Yeah, both. I grew up in the middle of nowhere. At the time, it was middle of nowhere. Now it's like Metro Atlanta, but...
I was going to say, it's not middle of nowhere anymore.
No.
Not a thing anymore.
Yeah. It's kind of depressing, actually.
Limestone water is the best. The problem, Hoosier, is that limestone water hates your pipes.
Yes.
Right? That's one of the most entertaining things. When you go up to Thai and you take the tour at the Garrison Brothers Distillery, they talk about the limestone in their artisan water is one of the reasons that they get the flavors that they do out of the bourbon. But they also show you what the inside of their PVC looks like, and it looks like somebody's arteries who's been sucking down fat food, greasy food for 25 years, right? Like it's the deposits it leaves behind in the pipe is crazy. So yeah.
Yeah, Necro, that was where my grandparents, one set of my grandparents lived in a town like that.
Okay, I think we're finally done. I'm actually thinking these boxes might even be a little too big. I might ought to get smaller boxes, or I could combine maybe two. Let's see. No, actually, it might be about right.
Especially by the time you add more cards.
Well, I don't plan to add too many more. This is 4 boxes.
Yeah.
Most everything I need at this point, I can either buy on the secondary. I can trade for, buy a couple of singles on the secondary market and be done with.
True.
So what I'm probably going to do now is sort out the green, just sort the bases out and put them in here too.
You know what's going to be great? Going back to conventions and having these cards for like Vanessa and people to sign.
Possibly.
That's going to be fun.
I will say getting the leaders autographed will be fun because, we were talking earlier about the Babylon 5 CCG. Okay, when you play the Babylon 5 CCG, it's very thematic, and you always start with one character in play, your ambassador, your faction leader. Very much the same way you start with a leader in this game. And they were printing that game in an era when all of those guys were A, still alive, and B, regularly went to conventions. And particularly, almost all of them came to Dragon Con at one point or other between 1998 and 2001. And so I have many, many autographed Babylon 5 cards, which is significant now because so many of them are gone. But one of the reasons I love playing my Babylon 5 decks is because I sit down and I slap my ambassador on the table and it's signed by the actor who played the character. And I've always loved that. I always thought that was really just kind of cool.
And then we have the non-ambassadors like Mr. Garibaldi.
Yes. A lot of the human characters, human actors in the show did, were there and I've gotten their stuff signed over the years and so on and so forth. So.
I miss Jerry so much.
I miss Jerry Doyle. Jerry Doyle was a lot of fun. It was always fun to hear JMS talk about him, like that quote about the electric bleachers, right? Like that was vintage Jerry, right? Came directly from him. It's super funny.
Oh, that's a tough one.
What was the question?
If Zath were a Bab 5 character, he would be...
Zathras.
Yeah.
He's random.
Yeah.
He is so all over the place. Zathras.
I could see that. I could totally see that.
Zathras have very sad life. Probably have very sad death. But at least that is symmetry. I'm wondering if I could get like blue and red into this box. I'm betting they're just not quite enough space. I think even if I take the bases out, there's not enough space. Let's try it. I'm genuinely curious.
That's a good question, Xanda.
Who?
What Babylon 5 character would I be?
I can do it. Sweet. We'll put blue and red in one and green and yellow in the other. What Babylon character would you be? Mm-hmm. Ivanova.
Yes. Because I have no time for people's shit.
No tolerance for anybody's garbage. I can only conclude I'm paying off karma at a vastly accelerated rate.
Well, thanks.
Ivanova. 100%.
That's the nicest thing anybody said to me in days.
I like you. You're trouble. Well, thanks. That's the nice thing they said about me in days.
Yes.
Yep. Yeah, Ivanova, for sure.
Yep.
Okay, it looks like I'm going to be just a little shy on space because I have too many green cards. Well, maybe not. Maybe I can cram it all in here.
Yeah, I'm not serene enough to be...
She's not Delin. She's not Delin.
Although, when Delin is mad...
Okay, when you're mad, yes, you look like Delin. But then again, when Ivanova's mad, you look like Ivanova too. So I still think the Ivanova one is... I think the Ivanova one is much more appropriate.
Yeah. I keep hoping these migraines I have will, give me telepathic powers so that I can kill people with my brain like Lita.
Yeah,
but no,
I don't see that happening.
No. If it hasn't happened by now, it's probably not going to happen.
I don't think that's going to be a thing.
Yeah,
no, I don't.
no.
I would not lose sleep waiting on that to happen.
But it would be nice to get something out of the frickin' headaches.
Sure. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to pull out leaders. That'll thin this down a little bit. I'll keep leaders in a separate box from everything else. That will probably allow all this garbage to fit.
Mm. Sheridan.
Not a chance.
Yeah.
He's way smarter than I am.
Same ethos, though.
Yeah, probably.
You're closer to Sheridan than just about anybody else.
I'm not chaotic enough to be Marcus.
No. That would be Slacker.
Nah, I don't think so. No.
Yeah,
No.
I think, yeah. Or my brother.
No. I'm actually sitting here trying to think, like, who would it be? I'm not really coming up with anything good. Is it sad that I kind of like William Edgars?
Jerk.
Well, not because he's rich. I mean, that's cool, but like more just because he's a pragmatist.
True.
Right? One of the things that is William Edgars a villain? Yes. Is William Edgars right? Also yes. He looks at the Psychor and thinks, oh, look, fascists are us, right? So, like, he gets it very quickly.
Well, one of the reasons that Sheridan kind of stands out to me is the story arc for Army of Light, where he takes off his Earth Force uniform and he can't bring himself.
Yeah, he's like, no, I can't wear that.
Put it back
can't
on.
wear that right now. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
No, that's a really good scene for his character. It tells you a lot about his character, right? In that moment, that he's just like, no, I can't put that on right now.
And it's Bruce. And I love Bruce.
You've loved Bruce since Scarecrow and Mrs. King.
I've loved Bruce since the Gambler movies, but yes.
Whatever.
Which were before Scarecrow.
You know, I'm just realizing we don't have a card for yet that we really need. We don't have, and there's no Carillion Corvettes in this game yet.
Oh.
Yeah, we don't have Tantive or just like generic Joe Bob Corellian Corvette. Like,
Oh, we need some of those.
yeah, definitely. What are those? Friggin' FFG holding out on me, man. Not okay.
Well,
Not happy, Bob. Not happy.
The Corellians already have inflated ego, so why build
I don't
more?
know what you're talking about.
Excuse me. Given that I play one all the time, they're just fun. Corellians are the Texans of the Star Wars universe.
I'll allow it.
Yeah.
I'll allow it. See, told you Chad likes it when you come.
Yeah. Oh.
All right, almost there.
I mean, when you think about the Corellian history of piracy, you think about, the cocky swagger.
Cocky? Corellian? No.
Yeah.
It's unthinkable. Absolutely impossible. Me fail English.
Yeah.
That's impossible. Okay, I think I can get all this crap in here now.
Does that make the Oklahomans?
Yes. I'm apparently not allowed to draft anymore though, because I don't have room to put the cards in.
Rita, me no speak England.
Yeah, seriously, I'm with you there. Wow, I have all these tons of yellow leaders, not nearly as many green ones. That's wild. Okay.
Well, I guess that would make Oklahomans what? Duros? No, it doesn't really fit.
Yeah, it didn't really work.
No.
I mean, Duros is an interesting species, but like what they did to their place is kind of a mess.
Yeah.
Although I guess there'd be some Oklahomans that would argue it would still be apropos, right?
Yeah.
Okay, what do we got over here? I got green bases. Yeah, green, blue, red, yellow.
Yeah, Queens is definitely a whole vibe. Seen a lot of that out of some of the podcasters I've been watching.
I know who she means, and I'm not going to say his name. Everyone will immediately know. Well, if you live in America, you'll know who it is, and no, we're not going to say that.
We're not going there
We're not
right
going
now.
there. We're not going to start that conversation on my stream.
No, we're not.
It's not why we're here.
No.
It would be an entertaining conversation, but we're not doing that.
No. Sorry, Necro.
Robert, thank you for the follow or sub. Excuse me, sub over on YouTube. Apologies. It's called something different on YouTube. I always forget that.
Yeah, and he's a little slow on the uptake. That one's been up for a while, but
Probably. I've been working, and
Yeah.
nobody mentioned it who was looking at the screen. So,
sorry.
see what I have to work with?
I am not your secretary.
I never said you were.
Rita thinks we're using.
Well, she's generally right, isn't she?
Well, yes.
Like, I'm not going to tell her she's wrong. You going to tell her she's wrong?
I'm not the boss.
I mean,
No.
yeah, I think I'm going to go ahead and disagree with you there, sweetheart.
No, I'm not the boss.
Yeah, you clearly have a different understanding of how this house works than me.
Please. Yeah, Hetman, but then you get into the Mandos with the Concordian and which is basically based off of the Commonwealth, the Aussies and the Kiwis. Basically the Kiwis. And even in the pub side, you've got basically the arrogant little Coruscanti kind of inflection like Obi-Wan has.
Well, sorting them backwards is way faster. Because the leaders are double-sided. There we go.
Well, that would make it easier.
Mm-hmm.
We poke and prod at each other all the time. It's fun.
Well, that's part of being married.
Yes.
It's also part of being friends.
Yep. Because we were friends first.
Exactly. Sometimes you give me more shit than my best friends do.
Well, yes, but that's because...
Shocking, I know. Who would ever have thought that of my spouse?
It's in my contract.
It is in your contract. I fucking read. That part I read. Trust me. There's parts that I didn't read. Boy, are there ever parts that I didn't read. But I read that part.
To having to hold till death do us part?
They don't say natural causes, though, do they? Doesn't say natural causes in the contract. Just says death. Okay, well.
There's a reason Mr. and Mrs. Smith is one of our favorite movies.
Mr. and Mrs. Smith is 100% one of our favorite movies, and that's a rare. You're in the wrong place.
What is that?
It's a regular Grand Inquisitor.
Speaking of cranky individuals.
Yeah, I like him, though. Yeah. All right. Okay.
Yeah, we quote that movie back and forth to each other all
Mr.
the time.
and Mrs. Smith is far and away one of our favorite films. And anybody who ever asks me, like, what's it like being married? I'm like, you ever see Mr. and Mrs. Smith? They're like, maybe. I was like, you need to go watch that. Watch that, and you know what being married is like. And I will stand by that. I will always stand by that. Okay.
No, because Leia would have decked him.
What? I mean, you know what, though? I can totally see Han asking that question. 100%.
Yeah.
Fits his character. 100%.
But Leia would deck him.
Probably. There we go. We managed to squeeze it all into 3 little short boxes. That works out. I'll get a set binder for the rest of this mess. I don't even know what box this is supposed to be in at this point, but congratulations. You're in that box because I said so.
I mean, that's the other thing that I've been very frustrated with the sequels on is the whole Leia Organa Solo.
My bigger frustration with the sequels is the idea of Han Solo as a deadbeat dad.
Yeah.
Like that, I find that entire concept infuriating.
He would have bent over backwards to avoid being like the father he never had.
Yeah, it just, that entire thing just enrages me, frankly. I'm
Yes.
just like, you know what? This is some garbage right here.
Yep. Yeah. Which is why they can pry Leia Organa Solo and the Heir to the Empire trilogy out of my hands when I'm dead.
What was it I read? I retweeted something a while back. Somebody had this picture on Twitter, and it was Henry Cavill sitting in like a giant English armchair reading a novel. And their quote above it was, "Why, yes, Timothy Zahn, I do believe that the heroes of the rebellion would spend the rest of their lives focused on friendship and family." And I was like, yeah,
Yes.
makes sense to me, doesn't it? Thanks,
Well,
Disney.
But that was the whole point of them fighting was because of their friendships and their families.
Exactly. That was the point of it, right? That's why I look back and go, you know, how many war veterans do you know come home and are jerks to each other, right? Like, that's just not much of a thing, really. This one is green yellow.
Yeah, he would want to have the family he never had. I will say, even though Solo didn't completely follow the Anne Crispin books, it was not
It's
a
not bad.
horrible movie.
It's not bad.
I feel like Ron Howard really kind of pulled that one out for the most part. Yeah. That Rey still should have been his daughter with Mara Jade. That would have made things much better. But no, we had to break expectations.
You
Not that
know,
I'm bitter.
Hetman, it's so funny to me, right, to look back at now and you know, Hamill was obviously very unhappy with what they wrote for him. Formula, I'm going to reach to the screen, man. I swear to God, I'll do it. Don't make me. It's not your fault. I'm just
but-
like Stop reminding me of the pain.
But in the books, he does return.
Well, no, in the comics.
Okay, yes, in the comics.
They brought him back in Dark Empire.
Yes.
Right? And again, fine. But explain it.
Yeah, they
Make a story out of it. Not, well, we need him to come back, so there he is. We said so. We conjured him into existence.
And they're these really, really cool looking chambers.
So stupid.
Oh, are those cloning chambers? Oh, maybe it would have been nice if somebody had explained that.
Yeah, it's so irritating. TLJ and 8 and 9, right, suffer from the same problem that so many modern Hollywood films have these days. They were written by lazy people. Lazy people who could not be bothered to tell a proper story, right?
Yep.
Like,
Gaelic.
And it blows my mind. What's up, Gaelic? It blows my mind that they greenlit a $250 million movie on these garbage scripts, and they did it more than once.
Yeah.
Like, what is happening?
But
mind blowing. Truly mind blowing.
But there again, I have an unpopular opinion in that I actually like the J.J. Abrams Star Trek. I accept it as separate.
They're fun.
Well, but you know, the best part of those is Carl Urban.
Well, I won't argue that. But, like, they're fun movies, right? They don't have to be, they're just fun movies. Just take them for what they are and enjoy them.
Yep. Nice. Gaelic's asking, do they get to see your signed Duke?
I showed it on stream Monday night, but I'll go grab it. It's upstairs. I'll grab it real fast. Hold on. Well, actually, Gaelic asked me tomorrow night because it'll be here. I'd have to like walk over to the camera for you to be able to see it. Upstairs, I can just hold it up and you'll be able to read it. But it's upstairs. Ask me tomorrow night during boats.
He has a great picture of the two of them. A great selfie.
I did. I put a fun little selfie on Twitter. He had the best sneakers.
Did you post the picture of his sneakers?
Yes, on Twitter.
Yeah, those are fantastic.
I need those sneakers in my life. Jar Jar Abrams. I'm stealing that. Rita, I'm stealing that. I've never heard that and I'm totally stealing it. And I might credit you.
I've heard it referenced.
I've never heard it and it's brilliant.
Well, it's just part of the corner of the interwebs I hang out on, so. Michael Bay. Yeah.
Jar Jar Abrams to me. I love it. It's amazing. It's amazing. Oh. All right. It's 10:15. I'm going to hang this up.
Yeah, I should go upstairs and...
You got stuff to do. I still have to get a reasonable night's sleep because even though if I'm working from home tomorrow, I am still working. So I probably will go get the lint brush. A lot of little foil bits and stuff in here.
Or you can get the vacuum cleaner. That would work too.
That would work too. It needs a little bit of cleaning now off all the... You know what it is? It's not even paper. It's that little bit of foiling they put on it to make it look nice, like peeling off when you open the paper. A little bit of foil like sparkles and falls off. Darth Jar Jar. That would be fun. That would be fun. Oh, he's asking about that wash on the saber. I don't think we've done that. On the pistol. It was the wash on the pistol we were talking about.
Yeah, I haven't done it yet.
Yeah.
I've had other...
Well, Liquid, come on back sometime. What I suspect is going to happen, right? Obviously, I've been setting up in this space for...
Yes, Rita.
Oh, yeah.
I want to hug that man the next time I see him.
What I've been setting up for here, obviously, to do stuff on the table. Tonight was very low-key, very simple. We're just busting cards. What I will probably be doing over the next week, I might even come in here on Sunday, depending on my schedule, and actually build some decks on stream. At some point, we'll be playing some Unlimited on camera in here, on stream. Or I might end up just filming it for YouTube. I don't know. We'll figure it out. And then, of course, I'm probably going to use this as like my test case to do some two-player stuff, work into some two-player board games, and then by summer, my goal is over the summer, June, July, start doing actual four-player stuff on the table in here at least once a month. At least. That's the goal.
I guess that means I should brush up on my Twilight Struggle.
You need to brush up on Twilight Struggle. Okay. You have an iPad now. There is an iPad app for Twilight Struggle. And the AI is actually pretty insidious. And it would help you learn the cards. So that would be good.
Yeah.
And conveniently, we have 2 very long plane rides coming up if you were interested.
That's true too.
And at least one decent train ride in that mess too. So yeah, for those of you guys who don't know, we are going to be gone for a couple weeks in the middle of April. So no streams, but I'll try and get the YouTube channel fed. So at least we'll have that going for us, right?
And probably a few random Twitter postings here and there.
Yep.
Or excuse me, X postings.
Yep. So anyways, guys, listen, I am probably just going to hang it up. Probably no raid tonight. I'm just gonna off the stream when the time comes. I'm honestly too lazy, and with the way the setup is in here, it's a real pain in the butt to try to look around and tab through like 6 windows and find somebody to raid and all that stuff.
And yes, Carl Urban was fantastic in Lord of the Rings.
Of course.
I have really been enjoying him as Billy Butcher in The Boys.
We're a season behind, you know.
We're a season behind, I know.
We also have to watch Shogun.
Yes.
Who's been watching Shogun? Anybody?
Because...
Anybody enjoying Shogun? On Hulu?
Yeah. Lemming, I want to, but I don't know when that's going to happen.
McCallum likes Shogun. Liquid hears good things. Haven't seen it. Okay. So Hetman, I am now only 1 episode behind on Masters of the Air. It's excellent. I've seen now all the way through episode 7. I'm probably going to be done here and go upstairs and watch episode 8. Right? So then I'll be all caught up. And I think episode 9 is this week, and then they're done. Should be only 9.
Yeah.
And then we've got to watch Shogun. I think what I'm going to do is re-up our Hulu subscription while we're traveling next month, and then we can watch Shogun while we're, we need something to,
yeah.
Hey, let's take an evening out in the hotel room or whatever, we'll get caught up on Shogun or something.
Yeah, Lemming, I want to get back to Virginia. I'm actually working on my membership to the Daughters of the American Revolution.
Yeah.
And in that, I've been doing a lot of my family research and stuff like that, and it goes to the Virginia Tidewater area. I want to go back, visit some of the locales that are popping up in my family history, and I want to go back to Monticello. It's been a while since I've been. So yeah, they've done a lot of work. I don't always agree with the Memorial Foundation, but they have done a very good job in restoring and maintaining the house. So I really want to go back. I want to go back to Mount Vernon. But they're in the middle of doing a lot of restoration work there right now. So.
I want to go back to DC. Right?
Yeah.
We haven't been back to DC. I want to go see the new Spy Museum location.
Yeah, that's true.
I want to go explore some things in DC. I don't know when I'll do it, but we still got friends up there. It'll be fun to go see.
Yeah.
Take an evening and go hang out with them or something if they'd meet us.
Yeah, and Hetman, the Toranaga this time is.
Oh, it's your boy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't think of the actor's name.
I can't remember his name.
I'll never be able to pronounce his name. The guy that got playing Toranaga right now is so good. Right? First time I saw him was The Last Samurai.
Yeah.
And that was almost 20 years ago.
Yeah.
And he's such a fantastic actor, right? He's really good in the part too. I've watched enough clips on YouTube of Shogun to know I really want to see it. It looks really well done.
Haven't been to the Monitor. We also need to go to Charleston because I want to go to the Hunley.
We need to go to Charleston. I like Charleston. You haven't been. I haven't been in 20 years. I also want to go to Wisconsin.
Yeah.
I want to go down to Norfolk and visit Wisconsin. So. Xanda, I'm not gonna lie. Don't take this the wrong way. I did not leave anything in Seattle. Okay. Now, with that said, I do want to visit Turner Joy because I realize it's on the other side of the Sound. Right. It's not in Seattle. It's in Bremerton. So maybe someday. But I'm not on a huge rush. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah, my brother left there, and yeah,
they left for a reason.
Um.
I'm hanging it up.
Okay.
Guys, I'm going to call it. We will be back. I will be back tomorrow night.
Yeah.
Regular boat stream tomorrow night, same time, all that sort of thing.
And I'll be in the Peanut Gallery, as always.
Always in the Peanut Gallery. Always available, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So, awesome. Guys, appreciate you hanging out with me. This was a ton of fun. We'll be doing more of this. Like I said, I think someday I'll probably come down here and turn on the camera and just build decks for a few hours, okay? Yes, Rita, and thank you for the raid. Thanks for hanging out with me. This is awesome. Thanks for hanging out.
Yeah, I'm glad you hung out, Rita.
I know, right, Formula?
I need to come harass you on your stream at some point.
You really should.
Yeah.
You really should.
Yeah. During the day, I'm usually busy, though, so...
Turn on for good background noise.
Yeah.
She's fun. I turn on at work sometimes.
Well, when I'm working on graphic designs and stuff like that, it's
absolutely,
yeah.
absolutely, absolutely. All right, I'm calling it, guys. Peace. I will see you tomorrow, same time, 7 p.m. U.S. Central. What is that? 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific, and I don't know if you're in Europe or Australia. Figure it out. I don't know what it is. Go use a UTC converter. Figure it out. Okay. That's half the fun of being a streamer, Rita. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, don't worry about it, hon.
Awesome. Great, guys. Awesome. I will see you guys later. Let me find... I've got an outro window somewhere. There it is. Awesome. Guys, peace. Appreciate it. I will see you guys tomorrow. Y'all take care.